Okay, okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, sounds good over on my side. It is up. Let's see if we can find the game. We are recording, we are streaming. All right, back, multiplayer, network, join online. Not seeing it here yet. So let's keep on getting prepared. I do see we have a viewer. Hello. Oh, and they're gone. Don't blame them. Well, hello, viewer. I'm not sure who you are, but welcome, welcome. Getting everything set up over on my side, so let me know if anything's not coming in quite clear on yours. I tried a different save. Can you see this one? Let's take a peek. No, I'm not seeing any games. Okay. All right, we'll have Discord over on one side. Let's get the stream pulled up on the other so we can see chat. Thank you, DuPont. Much appreciated. Okay, got chat window pulled up. I got my OBS pulled up. I got my Discord pulled up. Should be okay for the most part. Nah, still nothing yet, unless this is it. No, huge map size. That's not even in parameters. So I don't think this is him. Oh boy. All right. Still getting set up with everything chat-wise. Looks good. Okay, started a call. Hey there, Cliff. Yep. Yep. So it's multiplayer, then network, then you're looking for host. Online. Exactly. And up in the top right hand corner, you're going to be looking for a load game option. You should be able to click on that and load in your save. Yeah. And just remember that you're, let's make sure. I think it's on this screen. Oh, yeah, you can hop into the game. And no, the content won't start. And even if it does start, you can just hit pause. Oh, yep. I got it. Oh, yeah, no, not a problem at all, man. Happy to help. Although I do think we got to go back and do one more thing. You got to enable. Well, actually, maybe you just have to jump into the game. Are you in? All right, then you're gonna have to back out because I don't think you have join as observers enabled. You might be able to do that through the host options right under the options screen, but I'm not certain. It depends. Some of these are very intuitive and they stick. But in case you like loaded up a cloud game or another online game in between, it might have updated your settings. Yeah. So if you go all the way back out, like you just exit the game, go all the way back to the main menu, and you tried the host from the beginning again, you should be able to scroll all the way down on the side, and it should be the second to bottom option, allow observers. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. Let's give it another rip. Maybe it could have just been a little bit of lag over on my side. Oh, my mistake. My mistake. What's the password? All right. All right, Cliff. Looks like I should be all set. I am in the game. Oh, sorry. Came in a little bit clunky there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my commentary started. We got a couple of people already in the chat. Um, no, absolutely, Cliff. Good luck. Have fun. Bye. All right, disconnected from the call over into the game. All right, we'll probably edit out that whole first bit, but hello, Conquerors! Thank you for everybody who's joining into the stream early. Much appreciated. I am jumping in here a little bit myself. We are T-minus 4 minutes until game time, but I wanted a chance to get myself a little bit more familiar with what we got going on both sides of the equation. Double check over to DuPont if you are still with us, good sir. Am I still coming in clear? But regardless, let's go ahead and take a quick analysis. I got a good opportunity to skim through some of this game, watch the early portion rather dedicatedly, but, you know, time gets away from us here on the weekends, and with dozens of hours every week pouring in from the community tournament, it does stay very hard to keep up. So, of course, the classic shout-out's going to our lovely community organizer, Al Caraz, for keeping the gears turning on the tournament, over to Scientific for his monstrous effort on being able to maintain as much coverage for all these games as possible. Obviously, shout out to the dozens of other commentators and individuals from Mohawk behind the scene who have done so much of the legwork to keep this game and this community just, you know, becoming a really excellent portion of at least, you know, my daily life. So thanks to everybody so very much. Very much appreciated. But let's go ahead and take a look into the game. Stats are typically a good place to break in. Military score, my lord. Okay. This is, ooh, greedy. This is very greedy. This point in time, okay. So for the last, ooh, my lord, 8 turns. Not a single additional troop developed out of Kush. We're starting to see a small spike, but it seems to be a steady increase more so than a massive ramp here for the Babylonian player, but still well behind par for where we like to see military at this point in the game. The players have chosen a wide map. Wide? Ultra wide, a tiny ultra wide. As far as the competition is allowed, this is the largest map possible. On top of that, they are going for Coastal Rain Basin, which is also the largest map available. So they truly picked the biggest map they could find. And because of that, they are unknown to each other. They are entirely unknown to each other. So for this entire time that the game has been going on, they don't know what the other person has been packing for 61 turns. They have no idea what their opponent's nation is as far as military leaders are concerned, as far as archetypes are concerned, scientific, militaristic output, laws available, all complete unknowns. 61 years available is very early on in the game, all things speaking, as far as rushing towards 8 strength units are concerned. For the Babylonian player, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laws available. 7 laws, yeah, on its way in 3 turns. So a 64 turn Chimeran Archer is certainly nothing to snuff at, but we only have 1 here available. I'm not seeing any others gracing the field of battle. Yeah, not even up here in the front line. So we're not going to have much of a massive upgrade, but we will be able to upgrade these 2 Akkadian archers into the Chimerian archers, which are very, very powerful units. It is interesting. I don't think we've seen this yet. We've seen some Cav versus Cav unique units, but this might be the first archer showdown that we've seen. Very excited to see how that plays out. It's very different tactics. As far as the middle of the map is concerned, it is going to be hard to find hails of arrows with all of this shrub cover, all of this woods cover, if we're doing the contention up here in the north. So if you're trying to defend against your opponent, you can hold a position here in the forest, but they might just have to cross over here in the south, which, again, they will be able to hold in the forest. And do we have, yes, we have hunters on the Kush side, we have hunters on the Babylon side, so we will have Sentinel versus Sentinel. With the ability for our players to dig themselves in here, it is going to be pretty tough. It is going to be pretty tough for either of them to make ground. It is going to have to be a very decisive battle. So let's go ahead and see what the military mix that's going to be coming through for Carthage is. Or not Carthage, sorry. Carthage on the mind as far as the community tournament is concerned. Hard to shake that one. But Babylon has access to their 8 strength unique unit that's coming online. Hydraulics won't be far behind. Onagers are also here. So we will have plenty of range availability. I would love to see the Ballista pick up here, especially because you know you're going... Well, I guess they don't know because they haven't scouted each other out, but assuming that you can expect that your opponent will use their unique unit because the laws are amazing and it's a very cheap, comparatively, unique 8-level unit to get your hands on. Knowing that your opponent is going to be coming out with archers, or in other words, infantry, grabbing a unit with torsion spring behind it for a 100% increased attack damage is very strong. Certainly going to be able to plow through those woods if you're launching giant bolts off of the back of a ballista. Additionally, we also have spoked wheel marked, so the chariot might be in play. Good to know that they'll be prioritizing routing units, which I do think will have additional legs to stand on going up against the Kush. Now, don't get me wrong, the Kush unique unit is a monster. The Medjay Archer gives itself the volley promotion, so plus 20% attack damage only if adjacent to another unit. So that makes it a wonderful cannon. But the question is that cannon made of glass? The unique unit gets no additional defensive bonuses from being adjacent next to another another unit here. So if you have a whole bunch of these all marched up together out in an open field, if they are caught out here, which they have not quite yet claimed, then you could be in a steep, dangerous area going up against routing units. Might be putting himself up for a little bit of punishment. So if that is the idea the Babylonian player is going for, I can't say I disagree with it. Sounds very strong. Going back to the stats game, Babylon is... Let's take a peek. Looks like we might have our players here. Blajj is in the game, so we might be hopping off here any second now. We are 3 minutes past our intended start point, but that is not a problem. Everyone's here for the good of the game, so take all the time you need, fellas. Looking back over at the stats, let's take a peek. Science. Oof. So Babylon has started doing Babylon things and having a high level of science going on through, and has not let his foot off the gas pedal. We might have seen a couple of dips here. This could come from deaths of key characters, likely a little bit of a transition period. We will check the lineage chart in a second. But here at this point, they are 103 to the opponent's 67. So they are somewhere in the neighborhood of 40% higher in production turnover turn comparatively to the Kush player. And they have put in 1,300 more science into the tech tree at this point in the game. To give you an idea, 1,300 is going to be equivalent to a full-on... Yikes. It is a heavy tech that is going to be 1,300 science to be comparable. It is a pretty tricky situation. If both these players are playing greedy, considering how far Babylon has already gotten ahead, they, however, aren't indicating to me that they are looking to do too much else in the ways of scientific production. We are not seeing a scholarship pickup. We are going for monasticism, but do we even have a religion? We do not. There is no religion in the godless heathens here in Babylon. They'll be able to spread paganism throughout, but no monasteries are going to be available to them. Not unless they're willing to take on the Zoroastrian religion, which could lead to some dissent. So I think that might be a bit of a mistake. But very, very interesting. They have certainly capped out, but let's take a look over at the Kush player as far as potential scientific gains are concerned. The Kush... currently rocking a zealot leader who has a surprising amount of wisdom. My lord, 3 wisdom on a zealot leader is pretty impressive, and I don't see educated or anything else here. So that's either a lot of tutoring or some great events. Excellent job on building this guy up to be a quite powerful unit. We are producing still 71 civics a turn, even though 1, 2, 3 of our major cities are all pumping out specialists. So we're choosing to definitely commit more towards the science game here. Good, important, not necessarily going to be enough to get you caught up to the Babylonian player, but it's nice to see that the investment is coming through. Taking a look over at the stats, we should take a peek at total improvements controlled. Okay, so Kush has built more buildings than Babylon. Now, granted, a lot of these are probably equivalent to the Kushite pyramids, which I don't believe are allowed to build. Yes, they don't have another acolyte available to them. So say we take the discount of the 1, 2, 3. I'm only seeing 3. Yeah, only 3 Kushite pyramids. So that's still 10 additional urban improvements on top of what the other players produce. So the economy game is certainly looking in the favor of Kush. The ability to ramp science further looks like in the Kush side. So I wonder how much longer Babylon will be able to hold on to their scientific lead. If this game keeps going on late, which considering the fact that both players have no interest in meeting or scoping out their opponent, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more sites needing to be settled, we have plenty of time before we truly come to blows between these two players. So if that's the case, Babylon might lose this window that they've gained as far as scientific advancement is concerned. We'll see if they're feeling thirsty for blood, but it certainly isn't going to be easy for them to exploit that scientific advancement they found themselves here in the early game. Going back to the stats, let's go ahead and take a peek. We are far more legitimate. Again, it's going to be attributed to the innate advantage of being Kush. Kush is able to build out those individual pyramids. Those pyramids are going to give you +4 legitimacy each. So that certainly accounts for 12 of the legitimacy difference that we're seeing between the two characters. But there is still on top of that, let's see, that'd be, call it 20, so 53 difference between the players. So a quarter of that, roughly, less, is going to be attributed to just that. But the rest of it has got to be attributed to how their leaders are doing. If we look over at the chain of command here, okay, looks like we started off with a hero over on the Kush side, an affable hero, so definitely was looking to do some expansion. I'm not sure what the first pickup here was. It could have been Besieger. That also would make sense for some fast clearing. But either way, this spells out the desire to be able to expand as quickly as possible coming out of your first leader. Looks like that gave way immediately to the second leader. So from a marshal into a marshal, that would explain the scientific difference. But they're doing a decent job of being able to at least keep up with what I assume is the bare minimum available here. Coming exactly in par with the year that it is, keeping up that number of scientific rate is not too bad of a showing, all things considered. Looking a little bit deeper here. Coming up next on the potential throne is yet another marshal going for a tactician, delver, and swift. So let's take a quick peek. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we can just look at it right here on the charts. Territory owned is actually in favor of the Babylonians. Kush did take an early lead, which makes sense with their martial leader, but it didn't take long for Babylon to really catch up. This could be a little bit of a border boost and a couple of cities founded all at once, but they have grabbed that lead right here at the turn 40 and just held on ever since. Kush is catching back a bit back up, closing the gap here. They're certainly developing their territory more, but knowing that they have gone for a martial leader here to begin with, I would expect that they would have had more captured at this point, or at least more looking like they were looking to expand. We have no settlers here over in the Kushite Empire. We have one coming out in 2 turns, a site already cleared, a whole bunch of empty queues. It'll be a great indication to see exactly how the Babylon player is going to be handling the first 5 turns of this match once we see what comes out in these queues. But we already have a site here ready to be established. We're at war with the Gauls. There's more Gauls going on through. We have 0 tribal diplomacy from not just Babylon, but from both players. They have declared complete wars, so it is nothing but further expansion coming out of both players. So I would like to see more settlers being produced. I certainly don't think we need 1, 2, 3 more workers production of your cities is not what you're behind on here. But if it is where you're in the lead on, it certainly doesn't hurt to push that lead. 29 orders is certainly not bad. And 8 of those are being devoured by those builder movements. So as long as you have enough to defend what you have already taken up and continue to expand, that's fine by me. But raids are coming. You have some nice defenses here. Let's just hope they're able to keep up when they're putting themselves a little bit further behind as far as improvement construction is considered. Timer has started. Looks like we are over on the Babylonian side, so let's take a peek. This is Cliff. To give you guys a quick background on who Cliff is, Cliff won his first match against Ice Matrix, and then me and him have a shared woe, having lost a match each to Class Koala, dark horse of the tournament, rising on through the ranks. One of the new 4 that were able to knock down both myself, Scientific, Alcaraz, and Fluffy, all who are now in a bit of a gauntlet tier over in the lower bracket. So it is certainly no slouch, the people that he's gone up against. He had his next follow-up win from Groudon. He showed himself to be a very strong defensive player. So it'll be interesting to see, because of his scientific lead, because of his first claim to getting 8 strength units, if he's able to be just as good of an aggressive player. We do have Phalanx chosen here for the Kushites. Tech-wise, it looks like they are beelining for Battle Line. Battle Line is interesting here. Anti-infantry is certainly going to be very good against the unique unit coming out of them. It never hurts to have the counter to your opponent, and certainly Macemen are not the hardest to produce, being able to be upgraded out of Axemen. But you cannot upgrade a Spearman into a Mace, so considering on how much they end up putting in production-wise into Phalanx, hopefully they don't upgrade too many of these existing warriors into Spears. But considering that fact that the players haven't even met, it won't be too much of an issue. Both players are in for a rude awakening upon discovery of the other. Kush is well ahead on military. Babylon is well ahead on science. Both players are going to find out that the other one is stronger and the other one is likely erudite in comparison. So it'll be very curious to see how the strategy changes, or if it changes at all. Both players are starting to officially pivot in that other direction. It looks like Kush is starting to develop more on their scientific game, although we are seeing now more Medjai archers hitting the field. And we have seen Babylon start to pick up on more military production, so it will be interesting to see how that continues to pan out. Taking a look at the internal situation, we do have control over Zoro, but Zoro is not pleased with us, estranged and disappointed in our king. An angry -20 opinion coming here. He is 74 years old and power hungry, so we cannot wait for this man to die. But assuming that the Patriarch sticks around for a while longer, he does spell a little bit of trouble for the internal politics of Kush, especially if more families end up changing over to the state religion. Taking a look at how that state religion is permeating into the family. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 members have already changed over. The artisan family is in danger of switching over to the new state religion, which would be a loss of 64 opinion. It would still be fine. They will survive that. And the queen. The queen is the head of your trader's family. Very good. 220 opinion, nothing is going to sway you, not even a change of religion, but it is something to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, internal politics in Babylon look like the exact opposite. There is only one faith in Babylon. They do only love their pagan gods, and all the families are behind that. Getting very close to being fully friendly with all existing families is certainly going to be strong. So again, Babylon is positioned to spring into action, to use all these advantages, to use these attack bonuses that their families are giving them, to use their unit abilities to shoot forward. I don't know if I agree with this, moving your Akkadian archer outside of Babylon. You kind of want him to stick around back here. You have no strong cities towards the front. So you have no real way of being able to utilize the upgrade that's about to come online in 2 years. You have plenty of civics to be able to accomplish it. I'm sure you'll have a Citadel drop down on the very turn it's passed, or at least I hope that you do. You already have your stronghold and garrison here, so it makes perfect sense because you're developing your unit already. But I'd have them stick around. I'd have them stay localized. Obviously, you haven't met your opponent, so you know they haven't met you, so they have no eyes on this. So, make sure you're coming out in full strength, so that way, instead of being the, telegraphing your punch, it's a bit more of an oh shit moment for your opponent. Taking a look over at their current law setup. Yep, centralization certainly doing them wonders. Slavery helping out a lot with their economy. Almost half of their overall, more than half of their overall iron development. Stone is doing fine on its own. We're going for orders, unit production, foregoing constitution. Interesting to see that he has this much science considering how few urban specialists he actually has out. We'll have to keep an eye on that when we flip over to the Babylonian player turn, see exactly how they crafted their science game. Going for the Free Horseman. Also won't be bad to have another routing unit. Horseman being a very powerful free card. Certainly one I would advocate for picking up whenever given the opportunity. We do have groves. Groves are certainly going to help out in a few spots. I see 1, 2 groves coming online. A third one available right here. When this unit is fully healed, we'll be able to get... oh yeah, another 3 here. That's 5. So 5 solid groves able to be turned online. Having no problem with these sentinel slingers being able to push back any tribes coming to push on your turf. So I appreciate that the way that the Kushite player is playing. Doing a very solid job. Seeing several scientific outlets here. Yaz is about to come down. Yaz being a wonderful wonder, giving 20% to all state religion cities. So that is going to be a huge amount of civic output. He already has plenty and a huge backlog. But considering the fact that he does have a zealot here, that huge backlog, if he gets it up to 2,000, is going to be 5 enlists that he can do back to back to back to back, turn over turn. But again, we are so far away from our opponent. I'm not sure this guy is going to live long enough to get there. 53 years of age already. Hard to say that he will be able to stick around, but he's certainly not a bad unit to have in the meantime. The Sun's no slouch. We're looking at a solid 7 out of 10 with 3 strengths already backing it up. Compassion helping out with that stat increase, so not much to say there. But Swift and Delver are certainly not going to hurt. Solid production of resources coming out of both players. Really like to see it. Tech-wise, only 4 laws here, and going for a Free Horseman is not going to get you a 5th. So there is no clear horizon for a Kushite 8-strength unit. Obviously, Macemen will help, but that's assuming that your infantry Macemen don't get picked apart by hails of arrows on their approach. Back over to Babylon. We're getting a solid amount of science, mostly spread out between our capital and our Sage's Seat. Obvious places to find science on a Babylon playthrough. Their science seems to be coming through centralization, makes sense. A very nice leader, which is giving huge increases, 109% increase. So a bunch of his science specifically is coming from his leader, which is a little bit scary, considering the fact that his leader is only 49 years of age, so we still got some runway on this bad boy. Not a problem at all. But that scholar promotion is going to be giving you a whole bunch of science, an extra +2 per archive in your nation. So that's an extra nearly 6 science coming from just that one scholar perk alone. We have 1, 2, 3 Sage's cities. It'll be curious to see if we try to settle another one right here with the settler that did just pop. So we'll be very curious to see if we keep going that direction, just trying to milk as much of those scientific gains as we can get our hands on, or if he thinks that 100, which it is enough. Be very curious in how that goes. He is giving 20 science here, 14 science as the governor, not to mention his archive ability is giving an additional 6 science. So on the death of this leader, we stand to lose, what would that be, 40 overall scientific output, that would certainly hurt. But we'll see. He might have more than enough science by that point already. Over in Sapur, this can't be right. Sipar is not the sage's seat. Interesting. This sage's seat is producing the majority of the science. How curious. We also have a very nice 9 producing science scholar out of here. The Rising Star Governor, very young in age, 42 as well. So these two are single-handedly holding up the scientific economy. Very nice to see that you're able to identify these resources and promote them. Do we have a good opinion with this individual? Not really. Disappointed with the king, in fact. Would like to see them take a little bit of extra care on playing nice with this Rising Star Governor, considering the fact that they are of the same age and will be pretty much tied at the hip for the remainder of that king's rule. Comparatively, we have a much more diversified scientific game coming out of Monroe, Kasir Ibirim, and Napata. Science coming out of classical spots, 8 from Apprentice Specialist, some from Zoro. All very nice. Monroe, not much to see here as well. The difference here being from centralization. So very consistent, reliable science coming out of the Kushite player. Without the leader advantage, they would be a lot closer in scientific output than we're currently seeing. But oof, gotta wonder where that dip came from. Looks like we did just lose a bit of wisdom on our... Ooh, and foolish. Ooh. Yeah, so it's really the leader difference here that is making, well, a huge difference. Interesting. Might even be, yeah, might be better off if the dying leave it over to the sun. Sun is already assigned here as a general, so they will be getting experience on each kill. We'd like to see prioritizations of using this unit in particular to get those kills for the extra 20 experience to go onto your heir. Always very nice. You want to keep your heir out of danger, so that way you don't have the opportunity to gets attacked, lose somebody, gets wounded, or whatever. Scarred is always nice. Famous is always cool, but most of the time it's bad to let your heir get beat up on the battlefield. We are expanding. We are grabbing yet another site. Hopefully we will see. We have just enough food for it. Another settler coming out of one of these 3 major cities. Getting some nice healing up. All right, so we are keeping our eye on additional laws. We are going for rhetoric, sovereignty, and citizenship, the classics. Trying to race our way up to 7 laws as quickly as possible. So hopefully this horseman tech was for exactly that purpose. Other options that we had available to us were composite bow and coinage, so I definitely appreciate his decision. Although, in my opinion, giving up this horseman to go for administration would have been the smarter play. But let's see what Babylon chooses to do in return, and they are also going for their horsemen, so I suppose that does level the battlefield a little bit between the two players. Interesting to see them of the exact same mindset here in turn 64. We did just unlock monasticism. We did just grab that law, and we did immediately pop down our citadel. Very well done, Cliff. Love to see you stay focused on exactly enacting your timing. Very, very important. All right, we are using our surveyor, trader family workers to build out a whole bunch of roads. That is going to be continuing to move our Akkadian archer to the front. Again, I'm not certain we need to be doing this. Both Akkadian archers now getting further and further away from the developing citadel, which will be here in 6 turns. Would prefer them to stay right here at home for 6 turns. They aren't necessarily needed on the front lines. You have more than enough units to be able to clear out these tribes, not to mention the mix that you have is pretty well leveled up spears. Oh yeah, this one's even steadfast, the slinger. This spear has bloodthirsty. So some nice upgrades here on these existing units. In my opinion, more than enough to continue on your assault. Obviously, you have the Vandals here to clean up. 2 sites of the Vandals here to clean up. So I would like to see some more aggressive pushing out from Cliff. I would like to see him clear these spots and continue to move out, or call a truce with somebody. Get a little bit more scouting. Figure out what the situation is. Realize they have 1, 2, 3, 4 Gaul sites. Piece out the Gauls. Realize that they're in a fight with the Kush. So that way all the raids are pointed only in one direction. Maybe do the same thing with the Numidians. But the Numidians are a little bit in your way. You want to claim this directly middle site because of the proximity to this choke point, which is going to be useful, I imagine. With both units using range, being able to claim these central hills is going to be very powerful. So I'd like to see that become a priority for the players. But a little bit of tribal diplomacy, guys, goes a long way, especially on a map this big. You don't need to take over every single city site. You can let some simply go, because when you're at war with every single tribe and you're taking 0 time off, well, it's slowing you down in other ways. And these raids are distracting. This unit could be up here helping clear out the Gauls. You could be pushing to 1, 2, 3 sites while maintaining peace with the Numidians out this way if I was Kush. In fact, that's almost exactly what I would be doing. I'd probably peace out the Scythians, peace out the Numidians, kill the rest of the Gauls, and prep here in the middle of the map, maybe even up here, pushing your... yeah, actually, here would be great. Hold this line with your forests, overlooking this city here from Babylon. That would be the dream. But when you're choosing to make you yourself against the rest of the world, well, that's no good. Oop, and we do have the death of the Pope. Gotta love it. That is a 180 favor swing in the favor for the Zoroastrianism, which is going to seriously help his Hunter's family opinion, which is going to be great for this offensive. Very nice relationships, very nice maintaining of internal politics from both players. Gotta love to see it. We are continuing on with additional scientific advancement. Not sure about the ranchers, but I can't argue too much with science and orders. Certainly not things to be, being upset about grabbing. Alternatively, you do have an apprentice monk available. If food's the problem, you got plenty of stone to sell, unless you're saving up for a wonder. We already have the mausoleum being worked, so that is going to be very nice for ramping up culture inside of Cliffs. Yeah, Babylon. Yeah, that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. The Acropolis is available. Colossus is available, but where do you even build Colossus? Yeah, there is no... cities on the coast, and certainly nothing with a strong level of cultures. So unfortunately, that does nix the Colossus from Colossus and Kothon from being available options here. Acropolis might be an option. I don't think it's necessary though. Do we go for more free units? We are also a scholar, so we can reroll here. Would love to see them stay focused. Yep, we did see the reroll. We are going for hydraulics. Very smart. Okay, we're going UU versus UU, and we understand that this is going to pack a punch. And unfortunately, where the Kush player is going for Maceman to handle the same issue, trying to get something with anti-infantry, unfortunately, plus 25 attack and defense is going to make you tanky. It's going to be good to have a good front line going up against a 2 styles of archer. But the Ballista is going to chew through Macemen and Blajj archers alike. So it's definitely a very tricky position that the Kushite player is going to find themselves in if this game continues to develop in this way. 6 turns until that is locked down, really showcasing the power of their current science levels. And we continue to push these Akkadian archers further and further away. There's going to be no way for us to upgrade these guys. So even if they're able to come out here and vanquish the Vandals, what does that do for you? You have 1 settler coming out that is going to need a home, but you have plenty of units to go out and find another home. And again, just make peace. You need not take over all the sites. Mausoleum is going to be a huge swing, an extra 24 culture coming out of this site. So that would shave off 50% or increase it by 50%. So shave off essentially a third of the time on 48. That is what? Close to 29 turns? No. Close to 19 turns. All right. Kush suffering from the same ailment that the Babylons are. Distractions, distractions, distractions. Yeah. On a wide map like this, I'm going to stand by that. Hopefully somebody can argue against me. Let's take a peek. Oh, over at chat. I don't know if you covered it already, but what about Wonders, Mr. PBM? Oh, yes. We did touch base on that a little bit. I'm uncertain about what we're seeing these stockpiles for. I'm not sure anything in here. Ishtar Gate will certainly not hurt. Getting a massive pap on this wide map for across all the area would certainly hurt, but it would only stand to upgrade 1, 2, 3 weak cities for Kush into developing. I suppose it would push a couple of developing ones over into strong, but I'm not certain that's going to be truly necessary. I mean, it certainly would help with production of the unique units, so I can't really argue with that. But we're not seeing enough cultural investment in other ways to see some of these cities get up to strong, which I think is going to be one of the ultimate things holding them back. Other wonders available, pyramids and hanging gardens and Yaz are all taken. Ishtar could be good. Apadana is always nice, but I'm not sure it's necessary in a multiplayer match. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I'm not sure what we're going for here outside of Heliopolis. So, and the only person getting Heliopolis is going to be Babylon because they grabbed Mausoleum. So, we have a closing in on going to be a 1,000 stockpile of stone here in Kush, and I'm not certain what he plans on using it for. We'll love to see him sell it and get settlers, frankly, and then, you know, if he is going to be at war with everybody, push out. They did finally meet. So, yeah, let's take a peek. All right. So, we are seeing that they are but only similar in strength. So, actually, the only person that's currently got a bad vibe is going to be Kush, knowing that they are primitive comparative to the Babylon player. Obviously, something you have to expect a little bit playing up against Babylon, but it's certainly not something you like to find out at turn 65. That is scary. Taking a quick pick over at the line of Babylon Kings. We start with an intelligent scholar. Gotta love the scientific push. Everybody say goodbye to that. Looks like Mohawk is flirting with the idea of slashing the amount of science that intelligence gives you. I will be personally very sad to see that change come, but I can't really argue with their reasoning. It is a dominant trait that we're seeing here in the tournament. The king goes into yet another scholar, and coming up next is a judge, which would be very scary if we can get some additional culture out in all these cities. So actually, now that I'm saying that, the Ishtar Gate for Babylon would go a long way. Settling a few more cities, getting the Ishtar Gate, getting all these cities up to developing level, building your garrisons, and upgrading each one individually, it would be a phenomenal use of resources here for the Babylon player. Being able to churn out their Akkadian archers out of a dozen cities would be terrifying. What we would need to see from them is the wood income to be able to back that up, which they currently do not have. Land consolidation and forestry are researched, so I am surprised to see the wood numbers, considering that we have onagers, considering that we are building hydraulics, considering that we have our unique unit, which all need wood, that we aren't building more of. A few here certainly don't hurt, but you would love to see all of this area become... Yeah. I mean, the hydraulics is certainly going to help. Getting those mills out will increase the overall production, but... I mean, literally anything you can get your hands on, even if it's crappy like this. I mean, you can still drop a mill right here in this spot to boost both of these, so it's going to be fine in a second. All right. Yes, I agree. Still waiting for the Destined Cataphract game. I'm not sure we will ever see it over in here. It is a long way down the tech tree, perhaps something that Mohawk could be taking a look at. Well, granted, you can't be basing the balance of the entire game, as Cyan tells me constantly, around the multiplayer scene, but Cataphracts are a far ways off from a lot of other, solid units. Considering the fact that if you do decide to go for chariots into horsemen, you can be countered by spears with a very cheap tech. It's very, very greedy to go for barding. Granted, going scholarship and citizenship are a great way to get a solid civics and science game off the ground, but it is scary. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to go for it myself. Continued expansion coming in up against the Gauls. Like to see it, making short work of them, dealing with his small incursions from the Scythians. So, like to see that he's being, well, steadfast, even without the promotion. Yes, Cyan, I agree entirely. 7 laws on Babylon, 5 turns to hydraulics. Yikes. The only thing that's going to save Kush here is the distance and the lack of aggression coming up from both players. We would need to see a solid amount of expansion or some diplomacy with tribes for them to have a safe passage through this little no man's land here in the center. Give peace a chance. Yes, I agree, Jams. Please, somebody do. Jebel for Kush, I suspect. Well, let's take a look at that. Wonders, Jebel. Yes, I suppose Jebel will do a serious amount of help. Those temples will do a great job of catching him up in scientific output, and the priest certainly won't be any slouch in that regard. So there'll be a lot of culture, a lot of orders. The priest will lend to science and towards military production. So yeah, I don't think that is a bad call, Scion. Definitely a likely candidate for potential use of this massive stockpile. How much does the Jebel even cost, though? Jebel only costs 900, so yeah, you're right. They don't quite have it yet, but that'll be coming in a second. But they have plenty of gold, have had plenty of gold. So I'm wondering why that is being delayed at the current junction. We have Zorro being spread to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, basically all but 1 and soon to be 2 cities have the Zorro capacity to actually take advantage of Jebel. So yes, that does seem like the right play. All right. Wouldn't have put my money on Cliff if I were being honest going into this. Oh, interesting. Like to hear your take on that one, Cyan. Are we talking about going into this match or going into this round? Sino, I'm here to push an agenda. Can we get a marsh farm check? A marsh farm. Well, we know that both players do have centralization. Let's see. Marshes. Yes, we have one. No, that's a quarry. That's a farm. That's a farm. So we do have some early wood production coming out of these farms. Would love to see more of that, considering the fact that Babylon specifically needs so damn much wood for the style of aggression that they're going for. Taking a look over at Zorro for you, just so we can get your agenda scene 2. Oh, that's Zorro. In the same spot, we are getting now some of our farms. 1, 2. Some nice additional wood pickups coming out here. Once we get this grove, I wouldn't be surprised after this disciple if we... Actually, no, because we don't have the citizen here for it. Could be a bit of a misplay here, grabbing a disciple out of the city specifically, considering that you have 1, 2, 3 potential gardeners to get up a huge amount of science for. Not sure I agree with this particular play. Would much rather see this landowner's city focusing on getting these 3 gardeners out. That would be far, far better. Hagen Gardens is going to help grow your overall growth in this city, but it's not going to be enough, especially if you're delaying it for an additional 4 turns. This I don't agree with. But yes, we are seeing those lovely marsh farms coming on down. Check legendary timing on Babylon once Mausoleum is finished. Yes, 100%. We do got to keep an eye on that, because I imagine as soon as that checks off, Scion, we are going to be seeing the classic Heliopolis play. Would make perfect sense for the Babylon player. We have... Ooh, Maz is down. 25 turns. Not the fastest we've ever seen one, but to get it out by turn 90 certainly wouldn't hurt, and this game looks like it might very clearly go into the 100 turn time. Well, Sino, we know one thing, that as long as you are willing to scream into the void of the forums, sometimes the eldritch gods of Old World do in fact hear you. So yes, if you are advocating for one thing over and over on the forums, in the chats, all over the place, it is very likely that someone will pay attention, and you will see the community actually pivot. We have been seeing a lot of that. Let's take a look quickly on something that I haven't checked on, ambitions. Gives us a good idea of why we're seeing certain things come out of our players. We are looking for 6 Zoroastrian monasteries, but we have a Jewish disciple coming out here. I wonder if that is a misclick and we meant to go for another Zoro disciple so we can build those monasteries, because we're only missing one. We have one available here. So you have the resources. There we go. Here's the last one coming online. So that is coming online. Looks like we are now looking to spread Judaism to every place, ramp the culture. What kind of theologies are we looking at? We are looking at legalism, Gnosticism. Interesting. I'm not certain I agree with Gnosticism here. Dualism would make a lot of sense if you're going for this many religions. But granted, you just popped Judaism fairly recently, it would appear, because it does not even have a head yet. And we are going for enlightenment. Extra spread chance in cathedrals. I'm not certain why we're going for this. That's a huge civics investment. Not that you don't have civics to play around with. But I think I'd rather see an ambassador, at the very least, get placed in somewhere. I mean, getting your families above friendly is always nice benefits to have. Certainly lends to very nice events. Going for Jewish disciples would indicate Jebel Barkle. Well, apologize my ignorance here, Sino, but I do believe that Zoro would be enough to create all those temples. I don't think he's even unlocked the doctrine. Yeah, so he hasn't built any temples yet, and I don't believe that you get one temple per religion. I think you get one temple per city based on what world religion is inside of it. So I'm still not certain I understand what the desire behind the extra Jewish disciples is outside of spread, and without dualism, I'm not certain I understand the rush for those. Just as we expected, spears are doing short work of the tribesmen. We have these archers now still idle for a couple of turns just here on the frontier, not sitting back for the 2 turns now for them to get upgraded, and not doing anything by coming out here. So it seems like to be a waste of nearly, 12 orders. Certainly don't agree with this particular cliff step. Would have liked to see these guys stay home if they're not going to be immediately utilized. Moving more troops to the front line. Clearly, we have enough to be able to contend with the aggression. And we do have yet another settler. No spot for them to go to. Yeah, and we're familiar with the Vandals. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3 units, very strong units, are going to be more than enough to be able to clean these guys up, even though they're shooting, unfortunately, into woods here. Not how you want to be utilizing units like this, but hey, you know, it is what it is. But in 1 year, 2 years, they would be able to be level 8 strength. So a bit of a missed opportunity here if you are asking me. Yes, confirmation from Scion. It is 1 random based on the religions that are available inside of a city, but 1 per city with a world religion that you are granted a temple from Jebel. So yeah, still not 100% clear on the spread of Judaism. If there was dualism instead of Gnosticism for the Zoro faith, then 100%, but maybe we plan on grabbing dualism through Judaism. That certainly wouldn't hurt. Mythology and dualism investment for Judaism would be very nice. They have plenty of civics. They would certainly be able to pull it off easily enough. So perhaps that's the play. It's a very long-term play, but I think we got a solid at least 30 turns in this game before we see any massive conflict. Oh, and our king is ill. Yikes, yikes, yikes. The next judge coming up is not bad. He's humble. He's got 4 wisdom himself, but that is going to be a huge blow to the science game of Babylon. Meanwhile, the scientific rate here for Kush continues to ramp turn over turn. A lot of very good investment coming out of the player, getting even more ranchers. Again, not 100% sold on this, but I can't hate on it too much. They're coming out faster because it's a landowner's family city. And it's extra orders and science. And when you need science, well, who am I to argue? Inside of this city, we don't have any more citizens after that, though. So maybe holding on to it instead to be able to build a monk out of the monastery would have been my personal preference. But can't really argue with it. It's definitely not a bad idea. We are continuing to push out here in the south, running units back, being nice and conservative with our troops. I do like to see that. Promotions coming out. Grabbing Shield Bearer. So that's going to help you out, clink on down here. But all in all, pretty fun. Ooh, boy. Oh, no. What have we done? We have decided to disappoint our patriarch here. The 2 notable events. The fire defiled. Okay, so I think we had an option to piss off either paganism or Zorro, but we chosen to kick the shins of Zorro. All right. I mean, 2 families are pagan, but again, I am not certain he's keeping an eye on this. The pervasiveness of other religions inside of his families is going to eventually flip a lot of these families over. Oh, actually, not the traders, or not the landowners. They are fully pagan all the way through, so you don't have to worry about these guys. All right, running a little bit low on the battery on my laptop. Going to go ahead and plug that into the charger. Please stand by. Okay, we have juice to spend. Oof, continue to shoot into the cover here. Has got to hurt. Can't be fun to see your units be taking more damage than the enemies, but that route is finally coming on through. Should be able to clean up 2 more of these units next turn, potentially, I believe. And the Onager itself is making its way to the front line, so some aggressive moves coming out of Cliff, some definite expansion in the future. We have a settler ready to go to get dropped here, but no more chambered to come on out. We do have the Akkadian Archer. I would be heartbroken to see this guy also leave and sit on this marsh for a turn just to take a little bit of damage for no reason. So please, at least this one, stay home, get upgraded in 1 turn. There is no reason to go venturing out until you're completely developed. Judaism has officially put out of their individual is a superstitious diplomat. Kind of makes sense for a religious head, but my lord, that is not necessarily good. I don't believe we have anything to worry about. Yes, they are also foolish. So together, superstitious and foolish, they will run into no issues between the king and the next Pope of Judaism. Thank you for the Monty Python intermission music jams. Very appreciated. Sino, I checked the event viewer. The fire defiled is either negative 80 family reputation and endeared, or the other way around. Kush must have had a really angry family for Blajj not to go for endeared on the religion head. Yes, actually, I don't think so. I think the last time we checked it, he had really leveled out his. I mean, you can go back and check the tape. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he had just recently had above 100 on all of his families, to the point where I said like maybe investing in a ambassador for him just to push that over into friendly for all families would have been fine. So I definitely think choosing to piss off a pope as opposed to just one individual family was the wrong call. Yeah, not really helping him out any here because obviously that affected this family. And I'm not really sure who it saved him with. I'm not seeing any endearment. Interesting. All right, continuing to expand. Do we have settlers? We do have one coming, so good. That's at least well-timed. Would love to see another. City-wise, we have some nice candidates for potential growth here. 4 cities that are able to pump out 20 growth turn over turn. So I would like to be seeing more settlers being produced, maybe even over these Jewish disciples. We have 1, 2, 3 cities of strong level of culture, which is nice comparatively to the Babylon players. So there will be 3 areas they'll be able to produce those unique units once we have the 7 laws coming out. So there's a settler here, and I missed the free settler tech that's coming up here. So that is actually 2 opportunities for him to be able to spread his seats, and he has 2 sites completely open and clear. We are jumping right into the belly of the beast. I wonder, oh no. Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of units, but I wonder if Blajj is aware of exactly how many Gauls are out here in the woods. There's only 2 up at this camp, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh. Not something you're going to be happy to see coming out of the woods, especially when your zealot leader is taking 4 damage a swing from some of these guys. Oh boy. Might have to back off here. This slinger and this warrior are not going to help you much. Oh no. Don't know if it's just you, but I'm getting ads on the stream. Okay, hold on. That is the benefits and cons of being monetized. Monetization is nice, but I don't want you guys to have to deal with that when we're streaming live. So I'll make sure that's turned off. Saved. Okay, very good. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, man. That should be all set. You shouldn't be seeing any more ads. Thank you very much, Oran. I will go ahead and update that. Thank you, guys. All right, appreciate the admin help. Typically, I have hours upon hours in my chair to get all my content in nice and polished order. So putting together streams on the fly is still something I'm getting used to. Yep, we're able to clean up 2 additional units here on the Vandal site. Like to see it. Very good use of your overall orders. But we are seeing the science game stall out a little bit here. Let's go ahead and take a look over at the science. Yep, hitting a little bit of a plateau. Not getting much, so we aren't seeing, since we started the game back up, much additional investment. In fact, it is just only 1 more science than previously. We took a pretty solid hit just before the game ended. So from turn 60 to 64, we actually lost 15 science. So we've rebounded to now have the most science we've had so far in the game. But it's definitely an uphill battle for the Kushite player. And they are still looking at themselves as primitive comparatively, and they are only similar in strength. So not the position you want to find yourself in. They are both currently on, let's see, that is 8 cities. That is 8 cities, but Kush at the very least has the benefit here in the cultural development game. But that is an easy enough switch to flip if we are able to lock down Ishtar Gate, which it seems that we immediately took advantage of. The Ishtar Gate will be coming out for the Babylonian player. That is going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities, 6 cities from weak into developing, push a whole bunch of culture in every other city. How much does this give you, Ishtar Gate? 100. So it's going to give 100 overall culture. So yeah, it'll be close by the time it is done. It'll also flip this city into strong. Maybe even this city into strong. And let's see, 12 years time. So yeah, by the time that's done, he'll have 3 strong cities. 1, 2, 3. Oh, turn processing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 developing cities. So this lead is going to massively flip as soon as that is changed on. Not to mention the 2 points alone he's going to be getting. And while it's very nice to be able to get up to strong level culture to make your level 8 unique units, to get up to developing level culture to make your opening level unique units, the part that I always undervalue or used to undervalue about Ishtar Gate is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cultural events that it's going to create for you. All of which are typical amazing boons. So to get all of those in one turn is going to be a massive swing in overall strength. Oh boy, the vision is here. We have 1, 2, 3 more annoying surprises. 4 if you count this raider coming out. To potentially deter. It is going to take some very careful positioning here. I do like the holding of these individual forest tiles. That's certainly going to help. We do have the adjacency, that extra 20% attack damage is coming through. They should be able to kill a unit every single turn, even if it's in the forest, and we have more Sentinel Slingers coming up to defend. So all things are moving and quite nicely. Should be able to take this down as well. We do now have our free settler, another settler, and another settler coming down. So 3 cities being indicated by the Kushite players. So some very nice expansion coming out. It'll be 1, 2, 3 sites if we are able to clear this in a reasonable amount of time. But if they are able to clean up these 2 units out here in the open, charging headlong into Sentinel Slingers, it shouldn't take much for them to be able to kill these units. Maybe 4 turns in total should be more than enough. So then they'll be able to come out here, but it'll take a while for us to crack this. 7 years might be a reasonable time frame. It'll take 5 years to pop out. 1, 2, 3 years, so 8 years before we'll even need the city. So 8 years, I think, is a reasonable time frame to assume he'll be able to take over that position. So everything is kind of working like clockwork here in the Kushite Empire. Fixing up some stuff after presumable either raid or earthquake. Polishing up his resources. And where did all that stone go? Yep, just as predicted, Jebel is now thrown down. We are going to see a whole bunch of culture come over for the player. So both players are doing some nice job utilizing wonders at this point in the game to massively ramp. It is just a question of what is going to work out better, and we have a new ruler on the throne in Babylon. We have negatives all across. We do have... Oof. None of the theologies that are going to be reducing... actually, no, we don't even have a state religion in here, or a world religion in here. So there is... Okay, we are getting some additional things online. We do have some events available. Reclaiming Control, a new type of animal discovery. That'll be a fun little scientific boost, although you are not inquisitive, so TBD. But we are making the right choices. We're working things out with the religion. We're working things out with the families. Trying to stay above the negatives. but is always a little bit difficult on the changeover of the guard from one king to another to maintain political control. So we are going to see that slip slightly here for the Babylonian player. Yes, fighting the Gauls in the woods, definitely very scary. Not something that you want to have to be dealing with if you do not have to. And we have just enough to wipe this camp and drop a new city here this turn. All very good. The judge is going to be online, so I would like to see garrisons getting dropped down everywhere. Odeons are being brought out. A garrison here, very nice. Odeon, I'm not sure we need the Odeons. The only real, if we are going for Ishtar Gate, then unless you intend on this city or any city you plan on building an Odeon to get up to strong level of culture, there isn't any real particular reason why you need to get beyond developing. Developing is more than enough to be able to rush out any units that you need. It gives you the ability to do that all the way out here on the front line. I'd rather see the garrisons go down. That's going to give you orders. You don't really need the culture unless you plan on ramping your science, but you already have such a scientific lead. Although it's very nice to see that he was actually able to hold on to a solid chunk of his science. 16 coming out of the Wisdom 5 judge. It looks like he was already made the governor in Babylon, the absolute correct choice. So he's doing what he needs to. He's still holding on to his scientific lead. Yeah, and what a lead it is, my lord. Kush has got their work cut out for them to be able to actually hold on. So hopefully that all works out. Rhetoric now coming online. We have the civics immediately to adopt it next turn. That'll only be our 5th law now. But, you know, considering the science that he is increasing himself to, still staying above the rate that you need to at least be above what the, you know, the competitive community considers to be the bare minimum baseline. He should be okay of holding on to this. I would now, with a rhetoric pickup, like to see an adoption of Judaism to the state religion already here. Okay. All right. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, so I would love to see a dualism pickup here. A mythology dualism pick, I think, would be very nice. I mean, you could go with legalism. Nothing wrong with that. But I do think that But you haven't built the monasteries yet. Yeah, I would love to see a dualism pickup now that we have rhetoric and Judaism on the horizon. Great use of your overall thing. That'll skyrocket his overall scientific output. Dualism being super cool overall as a theology option, an extra 1 science per religion in the city. So that's with the included religion. That's an extra, if he gets Judaism and Zoro and paganism spread out to all of his cities, which as Kush he can do through the Kushite pyramids. He can do by spreading his religion, which I think is mostly Zoro, which has mostly been spread. But that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If he gets all 3 religions spread out to all of those, that's 33 science, or 50% of his current science. I mean, that would be massive. It would be a massive, massive swing. I would love to see it happen. With a little additional scientific investment here and there, he will overtake the current rate of science that is coming out of the Babylonian player, but which he needs to do. He absolutely needs to do. We'd like to see some additional time being taken to get these last groves up. Yes, no more groves up. I would love... Okay, I'm not sure. It must have been an event that gave him these 3 citizens. This was very lucky and definitely the correct choice. So now he'll be able to make 1, 2, 3 gardeners out of here. So hopefully we can... No, please, get rid of the slinger. Get rid of the Jewish disciple. You have so much science to get up here. That is... Oh my god, it's so much. I wonder why this one isn't as much. Why is, this one's so much more? Interesting. Oh, because is it next to a monastery? No. Huh. Don't understand that. Okay. Next, I want to see Kush go for metaphysics next, hogging all the religions. That would be hilarious. Would very much like to see it. I mean, if they're able to take all of them down, if Babylon isn't going to take advantage of it, that could be a mid to late game scientific swing that we don't often get to see. Typically, one player grabs hold of that scientific lead and it bounces back and forth. But to see a massive lead get taken down by some very clever religious gameplay that we don't always get to witness inside the multiplayer scene, I would love to see it. I would love to see it taken advantage of. It'll be even wilder if you had an opportunity to do this with a clerics family, but we won't go into that. No one touch my clerics, please. Scion, you in the comments, don't touch my clerics. Hey, Hazard, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Bold Gaming. While this game is very different from the other games in the tournament, I'd agree that the map size is too big. It's actually still great just seeing the two players play their best SimCity game. It's true. It's definitely nice seeing this different style of gameplay, like we just spoke about, seeing the religion gameplay, being able to do the ebb and flow, and eventually, long-term investment, being able to take form or take over the short-term sprinter that is Babylon, is definitely a nice give and take. So definitely something, definitely a new style of gameplay that we'd like to see. Definitely keeping it interesting, definitely doing interesting things with it. Excellent choices of wonders, excellent choice of compounding wonders, excellent choice of cultural gameplay. I'd like to see all of it, all very cool, but it is going to come down to the question, because it always comes down to the question for the multiplayer scene, that most of these games come to blows. It's almost impossible to avoid, but they're almost at the halfway point for Kush. And Kush is expanding very rapidly, and that Ishtar Gate is going to kick this score well into high gear. So, you never know. You never know. This could be the first multiplayer game of the tournament that comes down to a points win. That would be very interesting to see. Scientific. Cliff's first match against Ice Matrix was similar, very SimCity, until Cliff was ready to make his move. Well, I mean, the move is here. The move is available. Oh, good. And we did, in fact, take the time to upgrade this Chimerian Archer. Would have broken my heart otherwise. So good. Like to see that we at least have one on the board. We could have three, but I'll settle for one. I will settle for one. Okay, we've had to kind of reassess here. It looks like we took a couple of turns off. We have the new Tactician Ruler here, so we are able to hide our ranged units out here in the woods. But that means only this one Medjay Archer is made available. And that means only one will get focused fired. So it's possible that it gets tagged 3 times here with 2 damage apiece, dropping in another 6. Down to 3 health, it will have to retreat. These slingers are already dinged up enough. I'm not sure they got enough gas left in the tank to make this work. Oh no. We got plenty of orders. He has been very good about keeping eyes on every single aspect of his expansion. I doubt we're going to see a loss of a unit here, but it just goes to show exactly how strung out the Kushite military is right here trying to go for this rapid expansion. It is something you should do. It is something I've been advocating for since the beginning of the stream. But it is a fine line. You know, when your forces are not all together, when you are spreading out to take on multiple sites at once, it can get a little bit dicey because you aren't coming at it with the full wrecking ball of your military force, and instead have to kind of be a little bit more, have better footwork, I suppose is the right terminology I'm looking for. All right, slowly chipping down on these units here. Ugh. But I do think these guys are going to have to retreat. Another giant spike that has got to come from the loss of the foolish previous Zealot and now the pickup of the Tactician. 87 science now between the players. And the science drop that we just saw from the previous leader, going from 116 down to 91 and coming up from 65 up to 72. This difference in the scientific game just got drastically different in the new generation. So with the new adoption of Judaism, with additional civics being racked up, we have not yet picked up the new law here, and frankly, maybe epics might be worth it, but I almost would rather see him invest in additional theologies. You don't need to get 5 laws, you just need to get 7. So you can actually hold off until you have multiple laws to unlock all at once, unless something's going to be seriously impactful. You aren't moving along this kind of central riverbed, and there's not a lot of other rivers you're using for neutral movement. Epics could be nice because it's going to give you that extra cultural boost here on your borderlands, but I don't know. I think I'd rather see investment in Judaism. Windmills are coming down. Good. It's going to be boosting our existing lumber mills. When these additional forests grow back, this is going to be a huge overall impact towards the lumber output for the Babylonian player. Love to see that they're taking advantage of it. Odeon is coming down here. But again, I would love to see more garrisons for orders. I would love to see more mills coming out. We do have a water mill right here to boost this quarry. It certainly isn't bad. It's a 100% increase on a very good tile. I'm not going to argue with it. But, maybe there were better places to place it. Maybe right here, for example, or right here. Right here, for example, to boost this. But again, I'm personally a sucker. We're doing a lot of cultural investment in here. Not sure I agree with that. Spreading the religion, building an Odeon, getting a festival. You already have Ishtar Gate coming online, so I do think that we are looking to at least take the Hunter's family seats up to strong level of culture to be able to build more Sentinel strength. Yeah, okay, that's sounding right. So we're using the Hunter's family to get up to strong level culture for our unique units. I guess I do not hate that. Certainly not a bad way to go about it. We do have 2 sets of luxuries here. They are outgoing, 1 to Babylon. Where is this going? It's managing a city. All right, so both are going to Babylon currently. So we are just deeply investing in the total amount of culture here. But you could take 4 culture off. You're developing 78 a turn. It's not going to drop you too many turns. Maybe even just 1 turn. And with the opportunity to use that 4 culture to get another city up to strong might be the better use of it if you are that concerned with Russian culture in a border city. But, with their idea of keeping their heads down and going for those wonders, especially that endgame Heliopolis, can't really argue. Keeping Heliopolis out of the hands of the Kushites is almost always a good idea. All right, from Scientific, if Blajj bridges a 2K science deficit before they come to blows, I'll be pretty impressed. Me too. I don't think it's impossible. He has all the building blocks necessary. The generational change certainly is going to help. He has taken more time to get up his groves, I believe. Nope, the groves are also up inside of Babylon already, so he's got plenty of room to grow. Landowners will be able to take care of that. Would love to see, after this disciple is down, not another disciple. Please, I would love to see these gardeners start coming online. That would be fantastic. How Lant total legendaries in game 3? How many legendaries are currently out in game? There's actually quite a few. The legendary is currently being placed down. Cliff has access to the pyramids. Ishtar Gate's on its way. Mausoleum is completed. For Kush, they have the Hanging Gardens. Yaz and Jebel will be done in 5 turns. So yeah, a lot of wonders have already been taken out of the game. And I think we are not going to see the end of that particular case. All right, good. We are seeing more of these groves come online. Kush is continuing. Oh, change it to slow. Might be a record here, guys. The longest turn timer to be able to, longest game to be in simultaneous up to turn 73. I'm not sure we've seen one go longer. I'm not sure what the worry from either player is. Neither of them are close to their units at all. Neither can see the other scouts, so there's no shenanigans that are possible. So, it's definitely a good idea to keep in mind, but, if you're not the one aggressing and the other person is the one aggressing, I don't see any particular reason why you would have to worry about it. That's just going to slow the game down a little bit, and I like the lightning speed they've been able to churn through these turns. All right, we are continuing to push out. Oh, no. Okay. This unit's going to get hit by 3. He thinks he has this stunned. But if this unit is able to do 2, this tactician is dead. He doesn't see these other 2 units out here in the wilderness. You're going to lose this Medjay. It's going to lose its Bloodthirsty. It's going to lose its extra additional promotion. You have a chance of losing your king. You have an heir, a scholar, actually. So not the worst. But it's not going to be a huge scientific gain for you. In fact, you're just going to break even and lose on everything else. Interesting, interesting. Cultivator, however, actually would be really nice because that'll increase the farms and all the groves that you're currently getting online. So actually, this would be sick. Can't really argue with that. Did we keep that unit? Nope, we lost that unit. Yep. Oh, no. Yep, just there's too many damn Gauls here. He's going to have to back off now. He can't continue. He just simply needs more troops on the front lines before that's going to be a worthwhile site to take. Again, guys, just give peace a chance. Maybe this would have raided. Maybe all of these would have gone in another direction. But, you know, quite frankly, I would have pieced out if we had complete scouting. If he had the complete bird's eye view, I would have pieced out the Scythians and the Numidians here because you know that you're not going down this road. You want to be able to hold on to this defensive points. You want all these nice marble tiles, maybe even another dose of marble tiles. You want this hunter seat up here for a massive food and growth gains out in the front. Maybe even build 2 temples out here with all this growth just to get the priests out. That actually would be a really funny way to get a whole bunch of training. I mean, there are options here that I would have liked to see the Kushite player take advantage of. And I would have seen like the opposite approach taken for the Babylonian player. Get the scouting out. Piece out the 1, 2, used to be 3, 4 Gaul sites. And instead, kill the Numidians all the way down here. You have the spears to do it. And you can take on this river line and this forest bed to be able to kind of like, you know, pose any kill zones out here on the archer versus archer front. So I think that would have been really nice. Not to mention there's more groves down here. You could even go along the coastal line, get yourself a builder, get a couple of ships, get a huge amount of water transit potential along the south. I would have liked to see a little bit of peace, a little bit of diplomacy instead of just pure bloodshed coming from the players against their tribal neighbors. But that's my personal preference. Haven't seen that one particularly debated too much here, so hopefully I get to share something that'll kick a little bit of conversation up inside of the forums. Huge stockpiles coming out of both players. Really like to see the very strong economies. Scientific games are beginning to rebound. We have a whole bunch of civics, a whole bunch of training. Not sure what we plan on utilizing it with. We can use our king to change over a whole bunch of laws. If we decide to switch over to full military, we already have slavery and serfdom, so that's certainly not going to help. But colonies would certainly lend to the idea that I'm talking about grabbing additional waterway coastal travel access along here on the shoreline. It is something that you should not ignore when you're playing on the coastal rain basin. It is a phenomenal opportunity that if you are able to hold on to this very narrow pass, you only need maybe 3 ships to be able to dominate these oceans because there's only going to be a couple. Yeah, not even like a couple, literally 1, 2 available cities that are actually able to produce units on this sea early, so you can grab naval superiority and keep naval superiority, and that travel bonus is going to be massive if that's something that you have over your opponent. Oh, we say never say die. Killing units here and there. Don't move forward. Don't move forward. Stay here. If you come forward, you are going to get torn apart by 5 different units. Maybe even run. Bring these guys out. Try to get something. Hold this line. Fight them out in the open. Yes, that's the right way. Very good, very good. Okay. This makes me nervous. He's tanky. He's able to take multiple shots. 8 health left. Yep, okay, good. Running him back, healing. Very good, very good. Exactly what I would have done. Like that a lot. but aggressive. I mean, when you're able to only take 1 damage a turn, you're able to shoot back out 11. It's hard to want to surrender the spot, but if all 4 of these guys hit your closest unit, which they likely will, then in 2 turns, this unit is dead. And if you stand to lose... Is that all the unique units he has? Yes. Yes, it is. Only another one on the horizon here. Oh, no. Turn 74 and still making slingers and warriors is not where you want to be. Spoked wheel is coming online. We will have access to chariots inside of the Kushite Empire. Oh boy. Composite bow might have been the better choice here, considering how many slingers you currently have out in the field. At the very least, you're going to need access to composite bow to go for either bodkin arrow or windlass. Both would be very important to get your hands on. Okay, we still have plenty of civics. Plenty of civics. We are building a slinger, not a gardener, for 4 science, 2 science, 2 science, 2 science. Why does this one make so much more? It's got to be, yeah, it's next to a... Yeah, we should at least be getting the gardener that's worth 4 science. Not a slinger. Okay. We do at least have the stronghold in here, so, you know, if we're building a unique unit, or a military unit out of here, like, we should at least be building a unique unit. I mean, you can buy one. I know it's expensive, but you can do some chops, you can do something, but just building slingers is not what you should be doing with your time. Not with your build queues. Would love this new, let's see. Dualism is really what you need here. It would be a massive amount of scientific output for you. I understand you have to spread your religion to all the places, so perhaps that's what you're focusing on. Judaism is still in need of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spreads, so okay. But you can worry about that. You don't need scouts. Well, I mean, actually, you need scouts. But we don't need more workers. We don't need more slingers. You have a great economy. You don't need to get these other places out there. I would spread it out, and even if it takes a long time to cook a disciple, 5 turns is a great turnaround time to turn these front cities into actually doing something quote-unquote useful. I'm not sure you need another worker. Meanwhile, we have Cliff paying attention to my unheard advice, him producing out all of his gardeners, continuing to try to recoup his scientific losses. Todd had a chance to speak to him before the game started. He is a scientific player. He likes getting up his science game as much as he can. It's the reason why he chose Babylon. He likes the science nations. He previously played Greece in another game. Very strong showing out of him from a defensive standpoint, internal politics standpoint. It was the difference that was made in that particular game. One player had a control on their internal politics, and the other did not. And that death spiral can be so very real and painful. But the expansion continues to come. Walls don't seem right here, especially if you plan to continue to expand. Why pick up walls? Yeah, a bit of a waste of stone, a bit of a waste of a queue time. I mean, here, might as well pick up another something. Another spearman. You have the economy to be able to back it up. But yeah, I'd be trying to push this out. I mean, you're already ahead on science. You might as well, yeah, you might as well get further ahead on military. But Kush is going to have to do something. Kush is going to have to do something. They are seeing this. They are seeing that there is expansion coming out. They are seeing that there is... Yeah. Definitely troubling. Definitely troubling. Portcullis coming out. We will be grabbing ourselves a Spy Master. That'll be further increasing our overall intelligence. We have plenty of available spies. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 schemers and a very good Rising Star, the same Rising Star that I said we should have been playing nice with since the beginning of the stream. But we are not sure on good options for available spy masters and spies. We'd like to see some additional scouting. We'd like to see additional agent networks getting placed in here just to see what your opponent is up to. It would be a very good way to be able to identify, is there an opportunity for attack here, which there certainly is. It's also not too late to piece out the Gauls. You are not continuing to aggress against them. The Gauls currently have a negative 25 opinion of you, but that will decay. Yeah, only 6 more years until it completely decays. Attack our cities, that's not even more, and you take off war, that's 125 swing around to make you neutral. So not a lot of time that you really even have to worry about the negative opinion from the Gauls. In fact, if you do piece them out, then you will be at war and declare war with their enemy. Then that'll be a way to further boost the opinion. You get a solid ambassador that has decent tribal opinion. You piece them out. You make sure that the Kush get delayed by even more Gaul annoyance. And you continue to spread along the bottom here, pushing your spear advantage. That the Kushites do not have. Yeah, that's the way. That is the way. I would love to see it. Let love win, guys. Let love win. Yes, an infiltrate mission. An infiltrate mission. My God, please. An infiltrate mission. Just to get an idea of what is happening. It'll give you not only the placement of all your opponent's cities, but it'll give you an idea of exactly what they have built everywhere. I mean, it's a great peek into the mind of your opponent. It is certainly an underutilized tech. I do understand it's a bit out of the way, even though it really isn't. Portcullis is on its way to Horsemen, so actually I would personally like to see more Horsemen used in the tournament. We keep talking about Cataphracts, and a very nice step towards that would be, I guess, here promoting on stream to go for Portcullis because of the access to the vision that it gives you. Because if you have solid game knowledge, that'll give you a really good opportunity to get into the head of your opponent on what they're going for. Not to mention, it's science. Who doesn't like an extra science engine? And those other missions they are able to do. If you are able to do a... you can always provoke annoyance by recruiting partisans. You can always... what is it? Is it treachery that brings down the health of a city? So to get that timed with an alpha strike over on a nation is hilarious. Also, just if you want to be able to destroy an opponent's ability to rush out units, just dinging them with damage will stop them from a couple of turns. And if you can keep doing that over and over again, especially if you have a spy master and they don't, to be able to get rid of your spies, then you can just kind of run rampant, keep a whole bunch of their cities dinged for damage without having to get a unit worried, and then just constantly just kind of keep them under this pressure. It is a very underutilized strategy that I haven't seen poked in this game. I'm guilty of it myself, so this is more of a do as I say, not as I do piece of advice. But I would love to see more of it. I would love to somebody should showcase it, if for nothing else, than to show me what's possible. But I do think the Portcullis, and then after, of course, Portcullis going for Horsemen, is a very potent combo that we haven't seen pushed to its furthest advance. I would like to see maybe a little bit of some love shown to the agents. I know they used to be overpowered. Of course, we can argue about that over in the Discord. But I just think that they're fun. I just think it's a very interesting part of the game that isn't often utilized enough. So because of the nerf, it used to be the tech that I always rushed, so I understand that it was overpowered. But again, I just think that if they got a little bit of some love for their return on investment, for their scientific output, that would get more people utilizing them here in the multiplayer scene. And while we're not trying to balance the game for multiplayer, well, it's currently where my mind's at. Up now on the Kushite side to get up to 90. Wait, is that right? Both players are going for Portcullis? Wow, some spy warfare potentially in our future, some Cold War gameplay. Oh my God, I would love to see it. Both have also gone for chariots. I haven't seen either build a chariot yet, but if we got to see double spy gameplay, double chariots, and I get to literally fish my wish here, oh, I would be so happy. Okay, thank you, Scion. It is in fact called a treachery mission. Very good to see. Keeping an eye on the scientific game, we are seeing a solid rebound coming out of the Babylonian players. So even though they took a serious nosedive after the death of their king, they are not laying down without a fight. So the Kush has plateaued, and Babylon has massively rebounded up. Have we, as Kush, taken on any additional theologies? No additional theologies. 600 civics available. What would it take? It would take 200, and I think the next one is 400. You could do it right now. You could do it in 3 years. You could get dualism. Maybe that's what we're waiting to. Maybe that's what we're saving up for. Maybe we're not quite pulling the trigger yet. Maybe we're doing it for like a dozen other reasons. But you have so much civics. Pull the trigger. Do the thing. Get mythology. It's so much culture. Or I mean, at least just like veneration. I love veneration. That's going to be a huge economic boon for you. You're not suffering economically, but you are in a deficit on gold, and this is 20 for your Jewish monasteries. So I guess that's not that great veneration right here, but the reduction of rebel chance in case things the bottom falls out of your internal politics is a nice thing to have in all of your cities. Just that way you can have everybody as upset and not have to worry about that city rebelling. It's just a nice thing to have in the back pocket if you are taking, my particular advice. But here, it's just, for me, it's a instant mythology lock-in. It's too much. If you're not going to be building your other monasteries inside of all these cities, I mean, maybe you should. A monastery right here on all these groves, oh boy, would be so tasty. But you can get away with just one. Like, you don't even need to get the additional bonuses. Just that monastery without either veneration or legalism would be more than reason enough to build one right here. In fact, you should get them in a whole bunch of other places. Where do we have other good? Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, taking advantage of it already. Love to see it. Grab another monastery right here from Judaism would be phenomenal. So, yeah, I think we're going to see... maybe not completely catching up, maybe not completely closing the 1500 science gulf that is in between these players. But Kush isn't laying down without a fight as far as the science game is concerned. I mean, looking at your opponent turn over turn be erudite above you and stronger above you has got to be terrifying, especially knowing if he has the additional UI information available that he also has 7 laws active. I would be scared. I would be very, very scared. He can see the units. He hasn't seen any of the unique units on the horizon, but we haven't done a lot of scouting outside of this one spot, so I'm not certain we're keeping eyes on much of anything. Are we still building that scout somewhere? Yeah, we got a scout here. Got 2 scouts, so we are more concerned about getting our vision out there. Portcullis is coming online. So scouts and Portcullis does spell to me that we are going to be seeing some solid spy gameplay coming out of the Kush player. Cannot wait to see it. Blajj, if you're listening to this after the fact, man, I am loving the deep dig in on the science game right now. Really hope you managed to pull out the difference in the science between you and Cliff. So if you're able to handle that, man, it is hats off to you. You will be a legend in the tournament for that alone. To be honest, coming from Scion, that was nerfed back when Portcullis was on the way to architecture. Yep, that's fair. And before land consolidation gave Grove science. Okay, so there's a lot more science options these days. All very true. So having additional competitive options for science should, in my opinion, reawaken the option to be able to utilize Portcullis and its agents more. So I would love to see that love go on. I hope that is the point you are trying to make. Mythology boosts monastery culture anyways. Yes, so even another reason to build monasteries. So all of the tier 1 theologies are going to give an extra boost. It's just in which direction is it going to go. But I'm saying, well, actually, how is that worded on mythology? Because I believe these other ones... Yeah, so it's each Jewish monastery would give it. So yeah, it wouldn't be extra culture for all monasteries. It'd be just extra culture for Jewish monasteries. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yes, you would need to spread the monasteries everywhere to take full advantage of any one of the tier 1 theologies, and none of them bleed over, I do not believe. Okay, dabbing dualism would be smart for Kush, though, so yeah, mythologies would make sense. Yep, 100%, man. I'm with you all the way on that one. Yeah, and agent buff might not be terrible. Hard to say. Yeah, it is hard to say. But as far as, whether or not you're being as responsible as you, Scion. But if you are just here for the sheer, hey, it's cool, who cares if it breaks the game mentality, I am willing to be that voice of chaos. But I mean, yeah, it'd be very cool to see Portcullis come on at the exact same time. But it is a potentially micro intensive. There's not a lot of indications. It's perhaps appropriately a very behind the scenes. Oh my god, are we gonna lose this unit? Do these Gauls exist? Like I haven't seen these two Gauls move out of the shadows. What's going on here? Am I going crazy? Because if these Gauls exist, I feel like they should have come out and had some attacks by now. So I'm not sure if this is like a bug as far as like visuals are concerned. But this unit should be dead. There should be no, it does exist. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, we could see him lose another unique unit here, and then the Gauls retake this site, leaving 2 slingers alone. Okay, good. Thank god. Okay, more orders left on the board. Nothing to worry about. Oh god, I'm not scared, you're scared. Oh. Okay, good. But no, going back to what I was saying, Portcullis is a very behind the scenes and again, thematically appropriate behind the scenes system in this game. You have to keep an eye on it through your spy master, through your available spies here. You want to make sure their opinions stay good of you. It's just like governors. They're kind of like, governors of enemy cities. It's like a good way to like kind of think about your spies, because that's the same kind of returns you're going to be getting. High wisdom agents are going to give you high science returns. High discipline is going to give you better gold, yada yada, all the way down. It's essentially what they're stealing from the percentage created out of that city. So having a really good charisma, or putting a courtier as an available, not a native schemer, but throwing like a diplomat courtier in as an agent to be able to recruit partisans at a higher percentage chance is a really cool option available. But these are like things that are not made super evident inside of the UI. You kind of have to dig for them. So I don't know enough about these players because I don't think I've seen much Portcullis play in the tournament in general, let alone from these two players specifically, to know if they have that level of micro available to them. We are 2 turns away from a second disciple. We are missing that disciple. Please tell me. We used it on... Oh, where is it? All right, random Jewish disciple on the move. Not popping theologies. Not going for 30 science. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Dualism would be so much science. Oh, no. All right, well... continuing to go on the move and spreading the religion, we have more places to spread it out to. We are building more shrines, so paganism is continuing to spread. Paganism is practically everywhere, only missing in this city. Love to see this other grove get online, especially because of the monastery adjacency we're going to see. But yeah, science is seriously upticking here inside of Kush. And although let's take a peek, because I'm pretty certain that Babylon already has monasticism because they have 7 laws. Yes, so they have monasticism. So they will be able to get their hands on Manichaeism. Yeah. So they won't be without a world religion, which is nice. But it will be 3 world religions to 1, potentially. Because you need 2 Jewish cities, which I don't think is... We've talked about this in the Discord. The fact that you need 2 Jewish cities inside of your nation... and a certain law, and a certain population level to unlock Christianity is too many barriers to entry, in my personal opinion. I think the one that needs to get changed is whether or not you have Jewish cities in your nation, because that's sometimes just like the worst feeling ever, to have a religion that has a bad opinion of you, to invite it into your borders and have it ruin your internal politics feels bad. just to get your hands on a new religion. It's kind of gross. I don't like it. Certainly don't want to advocate for it. So turning that into having 2 Jewish cities on the map, not necessarily inside of your borders, I think would be a better way to go about it. Because then whoever gets Judaism is almost always guaranteed to get Christianity. So it's like it's not helping the religions spread out. It's helping them stagger in their how quickly they pop up on the map. But it's not aiding. It's pretty much giving one nation control over 2 religions by design, and I just don't like it. No likey. Okay, more raids coming out of the Gauls, but yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. You know, now you're gonna have to kill more Gauls, but the Gauls, they're not even mad at you anymore. In a couple of years, they won't be mad at you at all. Just get out of war. Make a peace deal. You have this guy. He's not doing anything. You got the training backed up. Let's get a peace deal with the Gauls. Let's get a truce deal with the Gauls. Make him somebody else's problem. Two turns until portcullis over on this side. We are making a whole bunch of growth units. So a lot of options available to us. Where did our... I'm going to keep an eye on this disciple. Come on, dude. If I could click it for you, I would. Oh, man. Yeah, because so like even if he didn't spread it to all the other cities, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 12 science. Maybe another 2 science here, so 14 science. Another 3 here, so 17 science. So it would be 17 science if you popped both of these for 600 civics. I mean, that's just, it's massive. 17 science would... I mean, it wouldn't close the gap entirely, but it would get you pretty damn close. But he's 1,800 ahead of you, so you need to be taking every advantage for every potential science gain that you can get your hands on here. And you've done so much investment into religion that to not milk it for all it's worth just feels wrong on a moral level. All right, well, he didn't back off, and he did, in fact, claim it. Doing okay here. Oh, but we are doomed. We are doomed. Ill and doomed. Oh, no. Didn't have this tactician for very long, did we? Not a lot of turns with him. We are now coming into a scholar, which will help technically the science games, if not in scientific numbers themselves. We're going to spread here, right? Yep. All right. We're spreading the religion, and that would now, when you turn on dualism, give you another 3, but in the time that you're taking to spread it out to all these places, you could have had 17 science turn over turn over turn. Now when you turn it on, you'll have 20 science, but that's a whole nother turn that you missed out on 17 science. It's just oh man, it's just right there. You could have had it instantly, but it continues to spread, continues to help. It'll get your culture levels out in these front cities in a way that it won't otherwise. We are waiting on Jebel. So, okay, now it's making more sense. We are delaying Jebel here by 1 turn, which you're so very lucky there's not better scouting game, although it would be very hard to weave a scout unseen, straight shot through these open plains here. But 1 scout stepping on this would break it down. But it does make sense now, while we are actually delaying the pickup of that. You're looking to get even more of your temples, which I guess is fine. But again, let's take a look at that. So that'll just be an extra temple that you get, which is 3 culture in half an order. I mean, the priest is great. That's science and happiness. And as they go up in level, you get extra training per citizen available, all of which is super cool and I totally advocate for. But you don't have a lot of population out here. Like, you don't need the extra 1 training, at best, 2 training out here on the front lines. It's just not necessary. It's not really going to help you. Not more than 17 science for the last 5 turns would. It's just like, what would you rather have? 3 orders a turn in, 10 turns? Or would you like to have a base of... What would it be? We're delaying it by, we said 5 turns. 17, around to 20, 100 science. I don't know. When you put the math like that, it is kind of a hard thing to say. I don't know. I still think they scare him the science, especially when you consider yourself comparatively to the other opponent to be primitive. You're back up to similar on strength, so hats off to you there on the production side. But it's the 8 strength units that are coming down that are going to pummel you into the dirt. That it doesn't matter how many orders you have, you won't be able to save yourself from that. I mean, of course, granted, if the opponent has absolutely 0 orders, then sure, whatever. But TBD. Yep. Sign, you got there before I read chat. Jubble's going to be a massive Civic payout too. Yes, he might think he gets that 1 more Temple. He should finish the Jubble. But let me know what do you think about the other analysis? Yeah, yields now are better than yields later, pretty much universally. Yeah, okay, so we're in agreement with that. I do think the turn-in on dualism would be good. So again, Blajj, if you're listening to this later on after the fact, I really, really appreciate the religion game that you're showcasing. It's not something I am super strong on personally, so I like to see others perform stuff that I am not able to always do myself. So hats off to you there, but you really got to be turning on that science engine, man. You get done all this beautiful, beautiful investment to not take full advantage of it. All right, we have ballistas starting to hit the map. We have chariots starting to hit the map. Are we going to see another Chimeran archer come out of here? I certainly hope so. Not that we have much of the resources, but you could always sell the stone. We are T-minus 7 years before we can grab Heliopolis. So that, I imagine, is going to be the overall game plan. We have 1 spot cleared, 2 spots about to be cleared. Do we have any settlers on the way? 2 turns on this settler. That seems to be about it. No, we have 2 settlers coming out. So these will be up in 4 turns. Okay. Again, we have the training. We're about to overflow on our total training. So if you're not going to promote units, please make peace with the Gauls. Please do it. What other ambassadors do we have access to? None. Current ambassador? Ugh. I mean, maybe this one for the extra 20 religion opinion, which is basically the same as family opinion because every family has a religion. And the 20 tribal opinion, this actually might be better. In my opinion, for what I'm currently advocating for. Are you guys still at peace? Turn 78 peace between the... Oh, man. That's kind of funny. Well, to everybody watching, currently 28 in the stream, much appreciated. Love you guys. But please jump into chat. Let me know if there's anything you're thinking of. Me and Cyan, we get plenty of chance to talk to each other over the forums. Me and him will yap at each other all day about whatever the hell. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? Always happy to chat. And Cyan, always appreciate you, man. By the way, I'm glad to give you a chance to sit back and watch a game. You let me know if there's anything more you want me to cover, man. Really appreciate all the hard work you've been putting in towards this community tournament, you and Alcaraz. I don't know where you guys find the time, but I'm happy you do because I am tickled pink with the amount of content that I get to watch these days. It is so much fun. So it's very nice to be on the other side of that equation. So hats off to you guys again, if I don't say it often enough. All right, we got yet another Jewish disciple. My guess is, yep, just got to be tunnel visioned here. Okay. All right. Can't argue with it. You know, you if you're gonna take the time to build out the Jebel, you know, you want to really get all of it. But are we gonna take the time to build out one, two spreads, three, four, five? Because we have another settler coming. Are we gonna wait for 5 spreads, 6 spreads? I hope not. Just build it. Just get it done. Just get the orders. You don't need the extra 2. It'll be 1 order return. Who cares? Make that up somewhere else. I'm going to stop picking on you, Blajj. Honestly, very strong game. Excellent build up over on your nations. Very pretty cities, by the way. I like the little compounds of all the shrines that are going here. It's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. Gonna be able to be, well, actually, yeah. If you pass mythology, you might have a better chance of catching up culturally to get that Heliopolis, because you want to think about orders. I can tell you a great way to get orders as Kush. Oh. How many temples would you say is worth Jebel? Ooh, interesting question. So let's take a look at Jebel specifically, right? Just make sure we know exactly what we're talking about here. First off, it's a whole crap ton of culture. So all wonders are going to be a nice little cultural boost for you. It is an extra 2 culture per religion in there. So if you have multiple religions, like I would say 3, then that's just going to be hands down amazing. On completion, add a temple for each one in every city and 2 victory points. So for it to be on par with the other wonders that are of its type, like in this case, you're choosing to go with Jebel over Ishtar Gate or over Apadana. I think I would say, I would say if you're hitting like even 4 or 5 temples for free, that's fine. Like like, don't be wrong, more the merrier. Milk it for all it's worth. This is going to be a massive Jebel. So like the more you wait for it, the more you swing. But it's not really like whether or not it becomes worth it. I think it takes very few temples for it to truly pay out, because that's going to be a lot of orders for you, even if you get like 6 of them online. That's 3 orders a turn. That's very nice. It's close to a law. It's close to serfdom. I mean, obviously, you don't want to wait for it to be fully serfdom, because you're also getting the culture, you're getting the access to the priests. There's a lot of good stuff that come from temples. Honestly, I would say 5 would be my personal, like, knee-jerk reaction. I'm not doing like the hard math on that to find out exactly where like the trade-off would be. But I'd say if you can get 5 temples out of Jebel, that's more than enough. Yeah, Sabretooth, 5-6. I agree with you on that one, man. Zoro is everywhere, and Jebel only gives 1 temple, so waiting for Judaism is a waste. Yes, 100%. Yep, I don't think he realizes that. Maybe he thinks that he's going to get 2 temples per. He might just not be super familiar with Jebel. So yes, 150%. If you secure it early because you have stone, but one world religion city, obviously you delay some. Yeah, okay. Sabretooth, I agree with you. 5 to 6 sounds about right. He should spread Judaism to the cap and adopt mythology. Absolutely. Yep. Ding, ding, ding. 100%. I think Judaism's already there. It should be already there. If he's spreading it elsewhere, yeah, he's got it in the cap. Definitely should be immediately popping mythology, waiting on it for this many turns, especially considering how long ago he flipped over for Judaism to be his family religion. We're talking like 6 turns ago. It's a massive amount of culture and science he's given up on that. I actually prefer one religion, so I know what goes down for adjacency purposes. Yeah, sure. I'm not going to argue with that. You definitely want to make it. Definitely is cleaner. A lot of things get cleaner when you have religious purity in your nations. I can't wait for somebody to clip that out of context if I run for politics in the future. But when you have religious purity inside of your nations in the old world, it makes a lot of things cleaner. It makes politics cleaner. It makes adjacencies cleaner. It makes random events popping up cleaner. Dissent coming through, not having to deal with that, is cleaner in and of itself. So yes, there's a lot of ways that maintaining just one religion at a time is very beneficial for your nation overall. My answer is 1 temple, as long as that temple is in my capital. Okay, Down. Yeah, that's fair. Definitely doesn't take a lot to make Jebel worth it. I try to maximize the Jebel, but I pretty much never delay the Jebel. Yep, I agree with that wholeheartedly, especially in this situation where we already have massive religious spread. Like you said earlier, Scion, there is no waste here. I often manage to secure Jebel with a builder leader. Yeah, a builder leader is very good. Obviously, if you get your hands on one. Three major strategies that I want to be taking advantage of. It's the same thing you use a judge for, which is getting your citadels out super fast. The second is making the urban highway. So grabbing a site like here and building urban all along the way to make cheap border grabs plus roads to make super fast travel for coastal is also very, very strong. And third is the obvious, stack a whole bunch of workers on top of each other and blast out a whole bunch of wonders to shoot your score up, to shoot your bonuses up. Wonder spamming just really never goes out of style. So anytime I'm not stacking 4 workers, I'm technically delaying. Okay, yeah, fair enough. But there have been times where I get Jebel secured, wanted to lock it down on a big map with literally just one holy city having a religion. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure I'm willing to go as intense with you guys on it. I do think it's probably wise to at least take some time to delay it for like a turn or two or in the build process to get a couple other of your disciples out so you can spread the religion a little bit. Like there's no harm in taking a little bit. And oh no, more death. Oh, and we are in dire straits. We have a schemer who's got it out for our new, frankly, old king. We could be losing a lot of legitimacy turn over turn. Kush has done a great job of staying ahead on overall legitimacy points, but 1 death of a king, 2 deaths of a king are going to be chipping away at that lead, and it's one of the few leads Kush has left to it. That is going to be scary. We are in dire situations. Negative 200 here from the Artisans family, nearly 200 here. Oh no. All right. We really got to do some working. It's not going to help the fact that we are also plotting against the king. Oh, here with the Pope, the leading 2 of our families. Oh my God. All right. Well, you know what the good part is? You got a spy master open and available. You got 2 additional open council seats. I say fill this council. Fill this council. Lock this schemer up and assassinate this builder. Cut out the chaff, man. Cartelize the wound and move on. We definitely need to see some shenanigans coming out of the court right here. You have the civics to do it, and if you're not going to upgrade your damn religion, Blajj, you better do some political shenanigans. If Blajj loses the Heliopolis race, it'll absolutely come down to this Jebel/theology delay. Okay, it's a good point. It's a good point. Now, granted, the Jebel, it will lose him on Heliopolis. Yes. The massive amount of culture he stands to gain here in the capital, the extra temple he stands to gain here in the capital, all would massively increase his overall pace. I am too lazy to do the full breakdown as to whether or not that would have saved him 11 turns. But if he did it, the 7 turns ago that he could have, it would have at least been closer. I don't know if it would have been enough, but it would have at least been closer. But remember, we also have the Ishtar Gate coming here, so Cliff has done a lot. He has done a lot of packing away the culture game over here inside of his capital to race for Heliopolis, assuming he's going for Heliopolis. We don't know that yet. I mean, granted, what else would he be going for? Imagine we do all of this and he goes for the Rekta Souk. He just really wants those luxuries, man. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what else. Surely you'd best wait 10 to 15 turns to get at least 5 to 10 temples, in my opinion. Well, it depends. It's all situational. There are certain, here's the thing. While he's going to lose out on Heliopolis, which sucks, one of the few things that's actually going to keep him tight in the orders game is this delaying of Jebel, so it's hard to say. If we did the hard math on it, if someone wants to crunch the numbers, oh, here we go. Shenanigans. Come on. We got a spy master. Do it. Assassinate the Pope. Oh God, I hope to see it. Let's see, let's see. But yes, I mean, but the Jebel giving all those extra half orders to every single one of his cities when he has this many cities is going to be a good way for him to overall keep up in the orders race. It's not going to be able to keep up entirely with Heliopolis. Nothing is, but it certainly does help. Let's see. Orders if you take the theology are huge. Orders if you take the theology are huge. Orders if you take the theology are huge. Which theology gives you orders? Help me out with that one, Sabretooth. Which theology gives me orders? The scientific method. Imprison the schemer. Yes! Shenanigans! Oh, please. Yes, Scion. I appreciate the hype train. We all want to see shenanigans. No! Oh, no. No, no, no. All right, Blajj. Let's see. All right, so no mission coming out of the Spy Master. No Chancellor being thrown out here. No Ambassador being thrown out here with this many negatives. Maybe, you know, with everything going on, with the timer pressure, maybe he's not checking his political situation. He might not be aware. When you are changing over the guard, you absolutely got to keep an eye out for this. And when you have the access to every technology to unlock each and every counselor, you need to take advantage of them. The Ambassador alone is going to be able to give you 67. I'm just this one. Yeah, I mean, that's the best one. No, this is the best one. Yeah, put her. One, it's the Patriarch. No, it's not the Patriarch. It just looks like the page. It's just the same portrait. Yeah, so put this diplomat for 30 opinion and 40 religious opinion in as your ambassador. That's going to be a 70-point opinion swing for every single family. Not to mention the Kush are going to be happy. Well, they already have somebody on the council, but it's enough. I mean, you could alternatively put them for a 62% swing for all the families, practically just as good, and it's going to make the artisans happier for having a council member. On here, you then have access to a decent landowners judge here, young too, so you get a lot of runway out of them. So I would assign them. They'll pay for themselves in civics in 10 turns. They're able to give you at least a little bit of coin, which isn't going to hurt your negative 500 deficit. Scary. Maybe you do want Apadana, because this has got to be a lot of upkeep, right? Yeah. Oh my holy upkeep. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. But also taking care of all these family opinions is going to help your upkeep. So yes, we want to get this in. That's going to boost up just their opinion specifically. You can run a family gifts mission by selling off some of these resources to get this more in line. It's going to make all the families happy because they each will have a counselor available. You kill the Pope, so that way you get a new person inside of paganism. Are we able to see who's in paganism? I guess not. Oh, but it's also your wife. No. Oh, yes. And then you'll actually, yeah, if you kill her, then you will also be able to marry somebody new. Oh, my God. So, yes, shenanigans is the way out of this pickle here for the Kushite player. Hopefully they are able to find that there in their next turn. Oh, and just to talk about it while we're already here, just because I don't want to let it forego, this schemer, throw her in jail. If you can't throw the Patriarch in jail because people will still see their imprisoned Pope as the religious head, but for some reason when you throw the family head in jail, it removes them as the family head. So you can imprison the family heads, but you have to kill the Pope. And that's the difference as far as the shenanigans are concerned. So yeah, throw this schemer in jail, kill the Pope, remarry somebody new in the families, family gifts on somebody, assign one of each of the family members to here, and get an ambassador for a huge blessing on your overall family opinion. Would be a way to save this entire political situation in, like, let's see, it's 2 orders. So it'd be 6 orders to assign, 10 orders. It would take 10 orders to do it, some resources, but it would definitely be cool. Plus, I would be super impressed. All right, back over to Babylon. All right, 2 turns away until we have access to the Ishtar Gate. We are 2 turns away until Acropolis. Acropolis? No. I mean, okay. Sure. Seems a waste of your stone considering that you had enough already for Heliopolis. You do still have 200 coming in turn over turn, and you got 5 years, so you'll have a grand. How much does Heliopolis cost? 1,800. So you won't have enough. You just... Why Acropolis? Am I missing something, guys? Is Acropolis better than I think it is? Extra orders for forums. Do we have a lot of forums? I know we built one out here, I think. So that'll be a couple. But I don't know if that's enough of a... Okay, so we're building forums. So we're going for orders. But you know what's more orders? Heliopolis. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Well, it'd be really funny if he lets Heliopolis slip through his fingers and instead grabs that. I mean, he might be greedy and just going for both. But we have finished Jebel. Fantastic. We have more Jewish disciples coming out. We have another here building the Temple of Solomon. Okay. Why? Why the Temple of Solomon? This does nothing for you. Guys, help me out. What am I missing on? Because it's just a religious opinion and culture. Are you trying to get this place up to legendary culture? If you are, you're not investing in it correctly. Going with barracks. Huh. Don't know what to make of that. TBD. Okay. Check the civic event for... Alright, so replacing the temples. Place. Unfortunately, I don't know how to really... In the eyes of the law. Is this the one? Looking for Scion? Oligarch has been thorn on your side? No, that's not it. Temples and shrines. Blajj has been adorned with epigraphic tests, especially stone and metal inscriptions that describe the law and codes of working. State religion. Jewish temple finished. I mean, this will certainly help out with your family opinion if you make all the Jewish places happier. It's a good chunk of civics, but you could certainly do it. Jebel Barkal. All right. I mean, holy crap. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole bunch of civics. Jesus. All right. Can't argue with that. Oh, yeah, well, that's looks like what he went for. Look at those civics. Oh, that's got to make you happy, Scion. Okay, fantastic. Yep, Acropolis. I'm not sure I agree with Acropolis, though, Scion. Revelation. Revelation is going to give you 1.0 orders per temple with Revelation. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. But is it tier 2? If Revelation is tier 2, then I still think Science is the better grab for him overall. Yeah, with dualism. I mean, maybe orders is the way to go about it, but he's primitive still, right? Yeah, he's still primitive comparatively to the opponent. So I still think he's got to grab as much science as he can get his hands on. Wow, boom indeed, man. Holy crap, there goes the dynamite. All right. So we're under 200 here. Would still love to see you grab an ambassador. Maybe he's unfamiliar with the fact that ambassadors instead give family opinion over foreign opinion in the multiplayer format. He might be unfamiliar with that change, which would be too bad because he's got some good options. He's got some real good options and plenty of civics to make it happen. All right, we are going on tight turns, so we'll be able to do this. He has 6 workers, but please, shenanigans, my friend. Show me the shenanigans. All right. Lordy. All right, so Babylon is going to be just dripping with Oh my lord, he's just gonna be dripping with orders. Acropolis here, Heliopolis after that. If he gets it, it'd be heartbreaking if he loses out on the Heliopolis because of his stone timing here. All right. Ballista's coming out. We're doing forums everywhere, so we're taking advantage of Heliopolis as best we can. War Elephant, random stompy boy. Don't hate it. Panic is certainly going to be good. I don't think we have onagers on the other side of the map, but you never know. Could always be useful. We have a hidden... Oh boy, we have a hidden scout here, but sometimes with enemy chops, you're not always aware that your guy has been brought out. So we'll see if he survives another 9 years. Would love to see these guys pushed out a little bit more into enemy turf. Could definitely stand to get a little bit deeper into the enemy back lines here. Because again, we have Portcullis on both the players. Let's get some spies here, boys. Let's see some stuff. All right, we do have a hero. In Kendruka. All right. If we have a hero in here, it would stand to reason to try to use them for a mission. Treachery has a 44% of success, increased because of their courage. Interesting. Okay, we'll keep an eye on potential shenanigans for spies coming out here. We also have a spy. So we are doing some spying, and seeing a ballista has got to be worrying, because you're also seeing an onager, a level 8 Chimeran archer, and spears. So you know the chariots that you have unlocked are not going to help you out much. You know that you're going to get outranged on your unique unit. You know that you're already behind the race on 8 strength units coming out and hitting the field, and you know that ballistas are going to be coming even if you get your own UUs out on the field. Oh, it's got to be a scary position for Kush to be in. Out of response, we are still seeing signs of rapid expansion, but expanding into what fate? Oh my lord, 1, 2, 3 more settlers going to be hitting the map. 2 sites for them, but where's the third? Gonna have to be grabbing this last Gaul site, but you have to stop expanding. You have to dig in. You got to pull up your science game. This monastery is nice. I like this, but please, let's upgrade the religion. You got it. Let's make it, make while the sun is shining. Get that culture going. At least negative rebel chance. I mean, when you was staring all that down, maybe I would have popped that just out of worry. But there's a lot of stuff you could be doing here. A lot of stuff you could be doing here, politically speaking. If you are going to become a nation-building player, if you're going to be taking the time to build this up, if you're not going to be focusing on warfare, I can respect it. Even as a warmonger, I have been brought low. I have been humbled by those who are capable of building nations stronger than I. But if you are going to be a nation builder, then at the very least you have to learn how to be an old world politician. So these tricks and tips available to you are stuff you got to be polishing on, so that way you don't have to deal with any additional annoyances like rebels coming out. You don't have time for that. You want to peacefully build up your nation as best you can. Science game continues to ramp over for Kush. Oh my lord, both players in a mad dash, but this gulf no longer exists, and this incredible shoot-up coming out of the Kush player does not show any signs of slowing down. More and more scientific opportunities keep on hitting the field, so I do love to see it. Heliopolis is enough to win the game. If you are against an even-skilled opponent, the order advantage is just simply insurmountable. 4 orders per city. Iconography in Kush would be a treat. I agree with you on both counts, Scion. I think Heliopolis deserves a nerf. It is simply too strong comparatively to every single other nation. Half an order from every single shrine would be more than enough of a benefit. 2 orders per city would be more than enough of a benefit, in my opinion. Come get your pitchforks and come at me. I'm constantly coming after your favorite thing to nerf, but I stand by it. The fact that if you are on even skill, even playing field, but one player beats the other one to legendary by a turd and grabs Heliopolis, I mean, you either have to immediately incite a conflict and bring the game to a close, which is nice that there's that kind of like catalyst effect that comes out of one particular wonder, but it shouldn't be enough to win a game. Just one wonder. If that's a statement you can say honestly, and then it shouldn't be allowed. Iconography in Kush would be a treat. Iconography in Kush would be a treat. Yes, it would. Iconography. Yeah. Per monastery with 2 extra training per each. I mean, don't get me wrong, you would definitely have enough. It doesn't matter how many units your opponent is able to kill with all their damn orders. You'd have enough units on the field to certainly make up for it. Those temples would be a huge benefit to their overall economy, which again is dragging. My Lord, with all of your eventual stone available to you, I do hope that he takes the time to realize that Apadana would be a godsend for him. All cities minus, minus 50% upkeep would be huge, because I'm assuming that's what this number is. So 150, 210, 270, 310, 350, 390, 420, blaze it. 450, 480, cut that in half. That's 240 gold in your pocket, if I'm doing that math quickly. That plus iconography, I mean, that might just be enough to bring you out of that massive deficit, just those 2 things alone. Well, both players continue to play greedy. Greedily expand, greedily build up scientifically. Nice to see 2 very strong scientific scores coming out of this point of the game. Very impressive showing, all in all. Militarily speaking, how are we doing? The scores are okay, all things considered. I wouldn't say they're necessarily par for this point in the game, but hard to argue with this much of an increase from, where did we start? Turn 63, so going from 450 to more than double. Very strong showing from the Babylonian player. Well done, Cliff. Really do appreciate it. Both players showing a very strong showing in this particular playthrough. This has been a fun game to watch. Free Onager. I will say that he does have a scientific advantage, but I wonder if we calculated how much science he's spent on each and every single one of these free techs, if that alone makes up for the difference that they're seeing in between their science scores. It is a grand total of how much difference now? Oh, less and less. Less and less. Only a 900. Oh, no. I'm not doing that math right. That's a 1900 difference. So not less and less. More and more. Almost a 2K gulf in between the players. Yikes. Oh boy. All right. Still only the 1 spy coming out of Babylon. Political situation seems to be just fine. Slow expansion seems to be coming on through. All scouts seem to be just fine. Would love to see more scouting, but only really showing 24 orders here. I know 16 are being consumed by construction, but doesn't give you a lot of mobility for your military. And certainly not enough to get your scouting game out. Would love to see them take more advantage of this available, more advantage of this available spying opportunity. How many spies do we have in Babylon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is quite a few. In Kush. less, but 1, 2, 3. So I'd like to see at least all 3 spies being utilized. Average military score in the tournament is 1242 at turn 82. Thank you very much, Beck. I am going to go take a look at that in comparison. So again, definitely not on par. Definitely not on par. Both of our players are either 25% behind and nearly 50% behind where they should be comparatively to the par, the average of how the games have been developing. So very, very greedy gameplay, but at least greedy gameplay coming out of both players. So I guess it is coming down to who is better at greed. I will say that I am deeply impressed by the catch-up game. I suppose you can call it a catch-up game that Kush has been able to try to make here. Their score certainly has been massively increasing, but that deficit, man, it was just a lot to deal with. Oh, is he officially? Yes, this is the first turn. Yes, the first turn all game that Blajj has actually been able to overtake the Babylon player, Cliff, in science at all. It is merely one, but perhaps this is the turning of a new chapter. Still no upgrading here. God, if you take the Civics boost, I will be furious. Civics boost, almost always good. Damn it. If you do not spend a whole bunch of stuff on boosting up your religion on this very turn, if you don't rush some stuff out, I am going to be livid with you, Mr. Blajj. Okay, let's see some rushed monks. Let's see some, maybe even rushed disciples. Definitely the gardeners. I mean, you don't want to rush a growth unit if you don't have to. That always just feels bad. But at least getting some units to hit the field, so that way you are, getting at least stronger over your opponent. Oh, but just to just to put an extra 800, you don't get to keep more than 2,000. At least assign a chancellor, my friend, please. Okay, let's see. Wonder if still research would be worth it for Kush. If still research would be worth it for Kush. Not sure what you mean. Nice, Blajj. Those mythologies are such a bummer. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Fine, Blajj. You hoard your civics like the dragon you are, friend. Okay. 2,700 civics. Is that enough for you? Are you satisfied? Okay, you don't get to keep this. They go away. I think it gets converted into science, but I think the rate at which it's converted into science is absolutely abysmal. Someone's got to give me the math on that. Dude, with that amount of civics, he could found Christianity, swap religions again for 3 theologies. Yeah, oh my God, Scion. Please. Oh, God. So many civics. Well, listen, the man is swimming. He's swimming in civics. I've never had that many civics, maybe ever. I'm not even sure. Outside of the way he did it, it's possible to get that many civics. You would have to have, a 900 production if you're not using the free card or some crazy event like the Jebel Barkle event that also gave him 900 civics. So I suppose it's possible in several different ways, but I have never personally been delighted to have this much civics overflow. What is the conversion rate? Do we know between science and civics? It would be 70 science. So it's 10 civics for 1 science. I mean, that's actually... No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Because if you... frankly, I would break both of these build queues, throw the stone away, and still upgrade both theologies, because that would be as much science as 70 science in 2 turns, and then you get to keep getting science on top of that plus culture. Oh man, it's not nearly enough. If we see him turn over here just to get 70 science, I will cry. Maybe not cry. I'm live on stream. I'm not going to embarrass myself like that. I'm a man, damn it. All right. Yeah, 10-1, brutal. Oh my lord. Okay. 13 turns. They're 13 seconds. No shenanigans. Not a rushed person on site. It would cost him 200 to rush this. 400 to rush this. Would like to at least see these guys get rushed. Has it officially converted over because his turn ended? No, it's still there. You can still... No, but you don't have the orders. All right, 70 science it is, I suppose. All right. Shocking he researched that when he... And then threw it away. Back... Tell me about it. Would Chancellor plus Metaphysics to force family religion be worth it? Would Chancellor plus Metaphysics to force family religion be worth it? Huh. Convert to state religion. I don't... The Chancellor doesn't do that mission, does it? Suggest for clergy. Yeah, so the Chancellor doesn't control... Or the Chancellor. This is the Chancellor. The Chancellor can convert state religion? When did this come through? Oh, no. This would just convert the Chancellor. Okay, I'm not sure what you're referring to, EQCR. I don't think the Chancellor itself controls conversions, unless the Chancellor is also a Patriarch. Is the Patriarch, maybe? Is that what we're referring to? That the Patriarch... Yeah, the Patriarch's a builder. So you could assign them there and then convert people to the religion? I'm not sure what you're trying to get at, friend. Elucidate for me. I'm slow sometimes. Okay. Yeah, fighting in these woods with our archer, it just feels sad. It's too bad. Oh, well, we're ranger. Actually, that's how you're doing that 7 damage. Woo! Okay, I take it back. Yeah, fight in these woods all day, man. Fantastic. Okay, good for you. Good upgrade. Gotta love a ranger archer. 7 years on that scout. Same in parity here. More ballistas hitting. More ballistas hitting. War elephants are coming. Chariots are coming. Elder officers. Okay, so we're going for high level unique units coming out of Babylon. Don't hate that. All right, nice science tick. 43 now. We are officially over. Even more so now. 143, and that will continue to tick up as we unlock more and more of these specialists. So well done. You've finally taken the lead here, Blajj. What are we building? We are building garrisons, monasteries, barracks. All right, so it's all about military production now, it would seem. Not doing anything to help our monetary situation. No hamlets. It's a little bit late in the game, I suppose, to get the hamlets to upgraded towns, but I mean, yeah. Let's grab some veneration, maybe. I mean, at this point, if you're not going to win the race here to legendary culture, are we officially legendary? It'll be next turn. Yeah, next turn in Babylon is legendary. They have how much stone? 800 stone. They need to buy 1,000 stone if they want to get Heliopolis. Oh my god. I mean, it's possible that Cliff buys the resources necessary for Heliopolis, but he's got 10 turns to wait to develop it naturally. There is a window here where, yeah, I mean, with the Acropolis mistake, which I will say is only going to be a mistake if he doesn't get Heliopolis, but it's giving Kush a window. A dangerous window if you're playing up against Kush to get Heliopolis. They will have it in 9 turns. 1 turn less that it will take for the Babylon player to develop the stone naturally. So Well, I mean, geez, they don't have the stone either, and they certainly don't have the resources. We could be seeing two legendary cities with a whole bunch of shrines built in each nation. To leave Heliopolis out in the wind waiting is wild to me. That is a very insane missed opportunity by both players if we don't see it picked up immediately. If Blajj gets his hands on it, that would be the ultimate turn of the tides, but I'm not certain he has the resources. I mean, this Temple of Solomon is going to be a drag down on him. That stone investment definitely would have helped here. All of these garrisons certainly would have helped. I mean, don't be wrong. I appreciate the production of additional orders and additional military production. That's all going to be super important to him in the not so distant future. But oh boy. Oh boy. Also, why not build a monastery here? Like, I would love the monastery here is going to be so much better than a Temple of Solomon. I mean, I guess the Temple of Solomon is going to get you this marble, but who cares in comparison? That'd be so much science, and we're talking all about science here. Upgrade, do it. Build this monastery. It's 6 science. All right. Sorry, I thought the Chancellor was the one who had the mission to force religion. Yeah, so it's the Patriarch that will do it if there's a plus 100 opinion without needing metaphysics. The ruler can do it if they follow the religion and you have metaphysics. Beck, that's 100% correct. Yes, it's definitely something that I can see you getting confused with, EQCR. Because, quite frankly, so often your leaders of your religions typically are going to be on your council, so it's likely that a zealot ends up here, which is a great candidate for your chancellor. So I can see you getting confused when you click on your chancellor and you see the convert to another religion mission available. It's definitely something that is very easy to get mixed up on. We are still seeing 2 on farmed swamps here. I am very sorry. I'm sure someone is very upset about that. Was that you, Beck, that was raging for that in the very beginning of the stream? Let's take a peek. It was... No, it's Sino. So I'm sorry, Sino. It appears that your advocacy for the Marsh Farm has not quite hit. All those civics and no governors. What would governors in Kush Core look like? Well, let's take a good peek. Who do we got for governors? We have plenty of people that could help out with the economy. I'll tell you that much. We have an this right here. I mean, if you're not going to make them the ambassador, which you didn't, you can make them a wonderful governor. Let's take more of a look into that. That's a good idea, Scion. What are we not spending our lovely civics on? Let's take a peek. Bold and superstitious. Cultivator in a hunter's family. That would definitely help out with some of the shrine production. Or not shrine, grove production. Yeah, put him in here. I mean, granted, we do have a governor in here, but yeah, I mean, that's 8 science right here. They'd be able to pick up. This guy is giving 7 science, but that's just because he's smart. And then you could take this guy who's smart and put him in another family seat. So let's look at Quasir and Monroe. Quasir doesn't have a governor. So, no, that judge belonged to the Hunter's family, right? So the next powerful Hunter's family would be Kerma. That's Kerma. Naka. So it wouldn't be a lot of science, I suppose, if you shuffled them around. It'd be 3 here, so it'd only be a 4 science pickup, I suppose, on that. So not like some game-breaking ones here that I'm seeing. But definitely some eloquent. Yeah, so really, seems like the only missed opportunity. Yeah. So, I mean, where'd you even put her? So, like, the best, weirdly enough, I mean, it's the Hunter's family that are putting out the best options for your governors. So there's not, like, anything really groundbreaking, but I would like to see, at least in Napata, let's see, do we have any good... Yeah, we have this builder. I'd like to see this builder in Napata. That would be... How much gold? 37 gold? Not bad. It's going to chip away your science, but I mean, here's 10 science here. Yeah, so there's definitely a whole bunch of science to be found from all these guys. There's definitely, you could definitely go through it. I mean, you have, how many missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, geez, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you would still have 700 civics left over. Crazy. Absolutely wild. All right, science game continues to rocket on both players. Where they are, I'm curious, do we have numbers on what the par of science at this point in the game would be? I wonder what the comparison is. If they're choosing to be this far behind on military score, how far are they choosing to be ahead? Although not much behind. Not much behind. That was a huge shoot up since the last point we saw from 980 to 1160 is wild. Huge jump. Okay, I see you. Are we still similar? Well, that's going to be a rude awakening. He's still sitting on 17 science governor in Quast Abin. Quast. Oh, no. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to cost you 11 culture, which might be enough of a deterrent for him, I guess. Yeah. But geez, I mean, just put the king in there then. Where's the king? He's the governor in Kerma. Oh, he's the governor in Kerma. Oh, yeah, put the king in here. And put that other cultivator in here. That would be a... you go from 7 to 8.1, so it's a 1.4 swing. And then you get to use the king in here for an additional 20. And you don't suffer any of this. And then this guy's a scholar. Do we have any other good landowners? Science hubs? Kulabnarti? Yeah, and an extra 6 here. So that's what? 30? Science alone? Taking you up to... Yeah, I mean, Jesus. A little bit of housekeeping here, and that's a 30 extra science. Yeah. I mean, when you're sitting on this many stockpiles, you got to be using it. You got to be using it. And Blajj, the only reason I'm being this critical, man, when you come back on here is because I'm rooting for you so hard. Cliff, I don't mean anything by it, man. Me and you, we share an enemy, an adversary, if you will, being both struck down by Class Koala. So coming into this, I was very curious about Cliff's gameplay, but seeing how far behind at the beginning of this particular part of the thing Blajj was and how much he's caught up, it's hard for me to be completely unbiased. I'm very curious to see if he can pull it off. And because he has all these other ways to be able to almost instantly milk another 60 science out between his religion and his governors, it's just... Oh man, I just want to see it so bad that that it's making me critical of it, because you're right there. You're doing everything right, but just a couple of other little micro things. And that, you know, that's nitpicky for me and Simon because we know so damn much about the game, but God, you're just so close to unlocking the final key to the puzzle. Yeah, no, I know to click this one. That's fine. You're right. I can go into here and click here. But, yeah, that is faster. Thank you, Scion. I will take the shortcut. All right. What else do we even have? What else? Is there anything else? You know, let's take a hypercritical eye over to Mr. Babylon here for a second. Let no one escape the Eye of Sauron. All right. Yep, so workers, still not a fan. Shouldn't be building the workers here. I mean, it's fine, but your economy's fine. There's plenty of room to build up additional food, but this farm isn't going to be enough to save you. You should be already focusing on places that you have existing food infrastructure. Do you have existing food infrastructure? I guess you can kind of consider this weird breadbasket of swamp. But yeah, okay. So that's definitely one thing for you, considering the fact that you only got one. You have some options available to you. You have a judge. You're this far ahead on science. You could totally get away. Granted, you don't know that Blajj is ramping up, but you do know that he is considered primitive to you. You could swap this over for this and get a huge amount of additional economy just to make sure that you're continuing able to maintain. Granted, you have solid stockpiles. It's not necessary, but you're losing 4 opinion with your sages for holding on to the centralization law, which, by the way, doesn't make any sense for sages, but would love to see you switch over to vassalage here. Slavery is good. It's a huge backbone of your economy. It's half of your iron reserves. Colonies here, I think, would be excellent. You have plenty of civics. Hopefully, you just unlocked this law. But it looks like you've been working on stirrups for a turn or two, so you're just waiting out here. Especially because you have all this fighting going on. Why not flip on professional army? You have the gold resources to be able to pay for it. It's a lot of missed potential XP over here. So that's certainly something. We have 2 luxuries in the back. Don't hate that. No reason we have to spend them. And we're calling it an end here in 5 turns, so I think that's reasonable. Okay. Oh, we did it! We did it! Oh! I missed it. Talked about it for like 8 turns and didn't see him actually pull the trigger on it. We did it. It's 17 science. I thought it was going to be more. Huh. Maybe that's dragged down a little bit by discontent. But still, 17 science. Nothing to snuff at. Like that. Very nice job. Exactly what I would have picked. Phenomenal. Would have liked to see it many, many moons ago. Man, he did that and he still has 2,000 civics? Oh my god. Okay, so maybe he... but how would he have? Yeah, because he finished these. He didn't have other disciples hanging around. Did I miss 2 other disciples getting made? Maybe they were made out here in the front? Huh. Okay, cool. Well done. This is exactly what should be done. There's so much culture, so much civics. You're going to have Monroe now in 6 turns. And frankly, you're not bad on this. They still have more than you. Babylon, have we... Okay, we... Heliopolis. It's here. Okay, good. I saw this go down to 20 stone. I'm like, oh no, what else have we built? But Heliopolis has officially been dropped. So that has been nabbed. Acropolis has been nabbed. Babylon is going to be able to dominate from the orders position. I am not seeing a lot of shrines, however, from them. So we would like to see a full pivot. No, we're already in polytheism. Are we building the shrines, however? 1 shrine. That's all I see. Yeah, we don't even have paganism in every city. Okay, well, at least the workers make more sense now. But chop chop, I mean, we got 16 turns here. It takes 4 turns or 3 turns to build each improvement if you're doing it on flat land. So it's going to take you 12 turns for using 1 builder in each city to get all of those online. So I would like to see some chutzpah coming out of the Babylon player as far as pushing their ambition to get shrines out and 4 shrines out in every city. They have the stone for it. It is coming. I understand because they were already in the deficit, because they already put themselves behind the 8 ball by building the Acropolis. So they didn't have the stone to also spend on shrines. But now that we have it done in the follow-up turns, would love to see them start hitting the map as soon as possible. Also, food. Also, with your judge, get some free little law shifts over here. Would be very nice. I'm not sure I love exploration here. Because you have this whole riverbed already inside of your borders, and you're not going in this direction. So I would have preferred to see both professional army and epics grabbed here. So you get more culture out here on the front lines. I mean, Ishtar the Gate's going to handle that, so I suppose it's not super important. But definitely professional army for the XP. Okay. Let's take a peek. He's still sitting on 17 science governor in cast. Would likely do quick inquiries due to the civics. Yep. He could probably sitting on like 50 science being wasted without govs. Agreed. Smiley face. Just wasn't sure if you knew it was there. How many workers per city is the right at turn 80-ish? It's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't have like a strict number for you. Typically the way I think about it is new city, new worker, to have like, you know, one worker per city, so you're at least able to get everything online. But that's not necessarily the case. I mean, you can definitely get away with having a whole bunch of workers to take a look at your current viewing pleasures benchmark. Workers produced. I mean, Kush has made 32, twice as many as Babylon. But, you know, it depends on, like, how well did you use them? Because Babylon was able to score out even more science, but it looks like there's a whole bunch of extra production coming out of the Kush player. I mean, with all of these extra barracks that are down, I'm not sure if we've seen the same thing over on the Babylonian side. Let's take a quick peek. No barracks that I can see. Barracks have been researched, but I'm not certain he's built a single one. All right, so there are barracks here in the capital, but that's it. 2 barracks comparatively to the Kushite. Yeesh, I mean, let's get a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's actually might be a massive difference between our players here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, we'll be able to move all of our units, and our units are going to be very well upgraded over on the side of Babylon. But if we can get our economy going to keep up with our production rates that all of our cities are capable of here in the Kushite Empire, you might just be able to win this on the, you know, throw bodies at the situation method. It's not a clear cut to me who has the upper hand here. I mean, both players are excelling at very different ways, so it'll be very interesting to me. If we can straighten out our internal politics situation, but granted, ill and doomed, we're about to lose another leader here on Kush. That is how many? I think we lost 3 inside of this this episode alone. Yeah, so it went from king to new king, and we have this new prince coming out, an orator, an educated heckler orator. Interesting. So, yeah, a lot of death here over on the Kushite side. Oh, scary days. Yes, indeed, Scion. Jubilations. Jubilations. Oh, what a wacky game. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving what we're seeing out of both these players right now. 2 very different styles of play, 2 very different increasing scientific games. It is very fun to watch. Growth neck and neck. Civics dominated over by the Kushite player. Not that they're using them all. Tisk tisk, Mr. Blajj. Training has been dropped down, but I don't think this number is super accurate due to the sheer amount of training that is being utilized inside of the Kush Empire. I think we're just churning out more units at the current standpoint. Culture, I mean, now that we finally flipped that switch over with mythology, look how much that ticked you up. I think it was like a 50 increase, so nearly a third increase from where you were, or a quarter increase from where you were. Wild. Happiness is in the tank for both. Wow. I mean, just look at this. I have to say, where do we start on this game? I think we started around like turn 60-something, 68. So to come from 70 to all the way up to 150 in just like, 15 turns is very impressive, Blajj. It's very, very impressive. Really like to see it, man. Can't wait to see what you do in the next episode, because this one isn't ending on this one, guys. Orders seem to be going good, but they will not be staying that way for long. Food, economy-wise, we have very solid pickup for the Kushite player. We have better iron, but no slouch over on the Kushite side. Stone is better over on Babylon, and wood is better on Babylon, which unfortunately is exactly what Babylon wants. All of their units, their ballistas, their onagers, their spearmen, their bows are all wood. So he is building the right stuff. He is definitely building the right stuff. Both players are just racing to claim as much land as they can. Big expansion coming out of both players in this round. A lot of cities got thrown down. I wasn't sure we were going to get to this point at all, but we're finally at least getting to conflict. We're the point where both players are going to have to be looking at each other and be like, well, let's see how this one's going to go. But, yeah, here we are. Here we are. Big thing on my mind right now is how many laws were away here on the Kush side. How many have we picked up? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the hand. We did have the opportunity to go for either Doctrine or Architecture. Doctrine would have been a very nice pickup here. With your 165 a turn, Doctrine would have taken you 4 turns to get online, so I'm not sure why we are going for a goods boost here. This doesn't seem like the right choice. Would have much preferred UC to go for your 7th law here so you can actually start getting down. I mean, your king is doomed now, so it's too late, but if he wasn't doomed and he stuck around for a few more turns, you could have had an opportunity to flip these over. I'm not sure when you picked this. Looks like we put a full turn into it, or maybe this is just overflow from the previous. But, yeah, that's too bad. Missed opportunity to be able to upgrade all of your existing strongholds into citadels and start boosting out from 1, 2, 3 cities, unique units. On the Babylon side, have we officially cracked our Ishtar Gate? Yes. Shooting them up to now be tied in points. 7 developing cities, 2 strong cities, 3, 5, and 4 strong developing and weak cities for Kush. So both players are doing a pretty damn good job. Have 3 places they should be able to pump out unique units, although we don't have a citadel in Dur Korigaizu and Sipar. We don't even have a... No, we do have a garrison in Sipar, but just a garrison. So, considering that this very well could come down to blows on archers v. archers, would like to see him do that. Does he get greedy and go for Christianity? He sure do. Huh. I thought you needed Christianity for this. I thought you needed metaphysics for Christianity. Do I have that mistaken? Yeah, it requires metaphysics. Huh. This must have been an event that got it founded. Interesting. Love you too, EQCR. Good luck at work, man. Godspeed. Okay. Well, I mean, he managed to pull it out. Oh, and we have a new... Okay. Okay. That is a very cushy changing of the guard. Goodbye to the judge. Hello to the orator. Hello to the plus 40 religion opinion. Hello to the positive opinion with all of your religions now intact. I wonder if he's going to get greedy and also spread Christianity. He does have dualism. It would be an extra science per place he spreads it to. And with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, soon to be 12, 13 cities. That's another 13 science, although it's a lot of investment to start spreading it. Christianity does have additional spread chance, but, you know, not something I would necessarily advocate for here, my friend. But certainly an option. We are working on the apprentice priest. We are going to try to convert our total citizens here into military production. Very powerful. You can get that all the way up to an elder priest. And if you have 2 temples in here, which, again, we did not unlock Doctrine, which we should have. But if we had 2 temples in here, and we could have 2 temples in here, did we give up on Doctrine again? We're not going for... You already have Christianity. You don't need metaphysics. Unless you're trying to convert everybody over to one religion. which maybe is what you're trying to do. I mean, Judaism could certainly use some help here in getting everybody converted. Okay. I mean, maybe. You do have all these civics to utilize, but none of your religious leaders like you, so you can't even use them to convert. You only have yourself to convert. You're up against it, man. You got to get somebody else on your side. So you might as well focus on... Ooh, but... yeah, because she's a diplomat, but she's also ill. So maybe she dies. Or maybe you kill her. Oh, my lord. But we got some work to do here. But maybe that'll be a good use for all these civics. Being able to start converting over everybody, utilizing your civics to get religion unity inside of your nation. It's a huge undertaking this late in the game. With this many cities, the more cities you have, the more characters your families produce. So the more work you have cut out for you of the amount of conversions you have to do to get a critical mass. So that'll be, geez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you need 5 or 6 total in here to have the religion. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you need 6 conversions here. Oh. Yeah, similar story over here. Similar story. Oh, actually, these guys will probably flip over to Judaism with only a little bit of nudging. Yeah, that's doable. So you can at least get one family on board. But yeah, man, you got your work cut out for you. And you got to get somebody else. You got to get the Pope on board. Because if you can't get over 100 opinion, it's going to take twice as long. You got the civics income for it, so it's definitely a good use of your time. But, you know, it's not as good of a use of your time as building citadels. just saying. Just saying. Doctrine would have been great here. Hydraulics would have been great here. You know that they are building a whole bunch of, like, you haven't seen their horse. You haven't seen their chariots. All you've seen is infantry and other siege. I guess you have this one horseman, but you got a horseman too, and you also got that from a card. We could see a conflict, a skirmish fight here. I don't know if that's going to come in the next 4 turns, but we got 4 turns, and they're getting awful close. Would really be hilarious if you switched to Christianity state and adopted 2 more theologies. Double dualism would stack. Yeah, it would stack. It's not like he doesn't have the civics for it. It's just, oh my lord. Hilarious is the right word. Hilarious is the right word. It is a play. It would work. It's just, God, it's so far beyond what I would do. I don't think I've ever invested this heavily into 2 religions, let alone the possibility of a 3rd. That would be wild. But, you know, if he gets a Christian Pope who's also an orator, another, like a young orator or something like that, that could very well be a reason to convert into this new state religion, to adopt the state religion, and convert everybody over at double speed to the new religion while increasing your payout. Yeah, I mean, you know, the more I think about it, it's less hilarious and more, you know, tactically sound. Oh. And with all this time, we still haven't marched these 2 guys back to be able to upgrade. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You could have waited a couple more turns to get them on out. And now you got just 2 Acadian archers that are going to take you 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 to get back. Maybe you don't even spend 24 orders on getting this guy upgrade because of how order intensive it is. Oh boy. Oh, well, I guess they could just get a citadel in one of these cities. It'll be a closer hike, but it's still, you know, 6 orders there, 6 orders back. Not to mention the time it takes to build a citadel. If you get into skirmish border, they get even, you know, further out. I don't know. TBD. Makes me nervous. Winless. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Still haven't grabbed professional army. I wonder why not. What are we saving our civics for? What are we saving our civics for? I don't know. I don't understand. Are we saving them to, like, rush things out, maybe? Or using them in the back pocket just in case stuff gets hairy? What's the idea there? But winless is terrifying. 7 turn winless? So all of these existing bows, which how many do we have? I know we have a lot of slingers. It's 1, 2, 3. I only see 3, but they're pretty highly promoted. So you got 3 pretty veteran slingers. So that would be a fierce, even more damage to infantry. Eagle Eye, well, I mean, you don't have to worry about that when it comes to crossbows. They only have the 1 range. But Marksman will give him a second range, and I suppose you need Eagle Eye promotion to get a second range. So actually, that's kind of terrifying. And where was the other slinger I saw? One, and here it is. What do you got? Warden and Steadfast? Well, Steadfast isn't going to help you out with much, but yeah, I mean, that's scary. Yep. 3 pretty veteran win-less units are pretty scary, especially if they both have marksmen, or all 3 have marksmen. That would be absolutely terrifying, actually. Blajj is in danger. We have no clear upgrade path from the Kushite player. Lulled into religious peace. Battle line is here. Citizenship is here. Hopefully he picks up at least 1. You got to imagine it's going to be citizenship. 2 turns, able to turn that on. Makes perfect sense. But all of these techs would be good for him to get. Massive science. Anything's going to be fast now. 2 turns for each. Okay, so we're going for the unique unit. I like that. Hopefully we're saving a worker in each city to be able to drop that immediately. It's a shame we don't have our judge anymore, but c'est la vie. But the question is it going to be in time enough? Are we going to be taking the time to expand all the way out here for the 8 strength units to be rolling in and having no answer for it? Blajj is in a scary spot. That tech is going to help him, but say he wants to return the favor and get over to winless. Bodkin Arrow also makes a little bit of sense because you'd be able to get your Blajj archers. I mean, getting 2 of them is pretty spicy. Plus 2 for each longbowmen is pretty cool. So maybe he's going down this path. I wouldn't blame him. But that's a lot of range all clumped together when you have ballistas on the field. Not to mention, when they're all clumped together, the Chimeran Archer gets really happy because he's able to rain a hail of arrows on everybody with his splash damage. So it is a dire situation for Blajj if he does not get his focus going and start pouring his resources into getting up this science game into actual H-strength units to counter what he is seeing on the field with his scouting. He sees more ballistas coming onto the field. So if I was him, I mean, maybe this is the first time we see barding. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the more I think about it, I mean, he's staring down some spears, but you can shoot spears down from a distance. We can see this 1 upgraded spear, so let's take a peek. How much damage are we doing? I mean, we're doing 7 damage, so we should be able to take down spears fairly easily. Grab at some tree or some bush line. Fire off. Stay in friendly turf. Utilize sentinel. I mean, there's possibilities here. He has all these slingers. Would love to see these slingers get an upgrade. So yeah, I think longbow might make the most sense because of the amount of tech that he has. He's able to utilize these 2 techs to be able to also get an additional 4 age strength units. Might be enough on top of his innate production that he's invested in to be able to produce enough units where Cliff will be burning his order's advantage, bringing units to the front. He sits inside of his sentinel turf to fire back, holding the line. So there is a way here. There is a way, but Blajj is going to be on the defense here, and he needs to get his H-strength UUs. He needs to get his H-strength slingers upgraded, because while we have those 3 slingers over on the Babylon side, if we were seeing crossbows come out here, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 crossbows would hit the map. 8 longbows would hit the map. 8 H-strength units would hit the map. And that would be such a massive increase that I think he really needs to start focusing on getting to one of these 2 techs. It's really going to be a saving grace. And if it was me personally on the back foot, I would focus on going down this line, so that way once you have unlocked it, you can also get access to the free longbowmen and the free Blajj archers. I think it would be too strong for him not to look into. But I sincerely hope he does not take the time to invest in Maceman here. It would be fine. It'd be fine, but it's not going to save him. It's going to be running into Ballista. It's going to be running into Horsemen. It's going to be running into Chimeran Archers, none of which is what you want to see as a Maceman. So yeah, hopefully he pivots away from that. He pivots away from Maceman. He pivots into longbow and bodkin arrow, and tries to save himself that way. Crossbows versus crossbows would also be very good. Getting up to cohorts certainly wouldn't suck, and battle line is on the way there, plus with manner is on the way there, so maybe we see a bodkin cohort assembly plus unique units. Also, maybe we see barding. I mean, he already has Portcullis unlocked, so going directly into a whole bunch of horsemen to counter the existing ballistas would still be archers versus archers, but the ballistas coming in to try to take out the archers, and then the horsemen coming in to take out the ballistas, and then running down the rest of their archers might be the winning counterpunch that Blajj is looking for here. Does he have access to horses? There is horse. Okay, so we have access to 4 cities, maybe 5 cities. Yeah, so he would be able to churn out horsemen from a lot of cities, which would be more than enough. He would also have access to elephants and stompy boys if he's looking for something in the meantime, because he also has access already to land consolidation. So he has some counterpunches here. The game isn't set, but he is going to be up against the ropes very shortly. Yeah, crossbows are going to suck, Scion. Crossbows are going to suck. And the question really becomes, what is Blajj going to be able to do in 13 turns? Yeah, I mean, actually, he probably has more than 13 turns. I mean, if the last episode and this episode are enough to explain exactly what kind of players Babylon and Kush are, I think it's very safe to say that they're going to play this cautiously, that they are going to wait for the maximum benefit from these wonders they've invested so much in, so much time in. I can see us delaying the assault coming out of Babylon until we have 4 shrines in every damn city, which would be a mistake. It's going to be opening up a window. I think, honestly, Acropolis is going to produce enough orders already. I mean, maybe. I think the best option here would be to push as soon as you start getting access over to these guys. But again, he doesn't have a lot to upgrade immediately. Not even all of his unique units who can be upgraded are upgraded. So, yeah, I don't know. Knowing what force marching here, yeah. See, they're very cautious players. Knowing what we know about both of these guys, I think we can expect to see Blajj maybe fumble his window here. Being well far ahead, knowing he's well far ahead, seeing he's still well far ahead. They're not primitive anymore. I wonder if he picks up on it, that the gap is closing, which for that gap to close, he would have to have more science than him, and you have 152. So you now know that your opponent does have a lot of science, or you should be aware that your opponent does have a lot of science, because it's not like you personally are going towards high value techs. You're still only here on tier 5. So you haven't really expanded on to tier 6 and 7 techs. So it should be a bit of a marker to see that he's caught up from Erudite. Oh. Nervous making here and still not picking up a law. Tisk tisk. Would love to see professional army here. I mean, you're running out of things to kill for your professional army to actually be worth it, so maybe not. Maybe you wait back until volunteers, I guess. Rush out some units. But let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's say everything works out perfectly, right? And he gets exactly the text he needs, hand over hand over hand. Unlikely, because Composite Bow is about to go back into the deck, and whether or not it resurfaces, we'll see. But that would be 400, 1,000, 2,000 total science. I think it's very reasonable that due to the governors he has available, and if he takes the time when you have that kind of peaceful adjustment period coming back into the new episode where people are sitting back and reassessing, we are assigning some governors now. Granted, not necessarily the ones I would assign, because you have this plus 20 science dude right here, and you don't need legendary culture and Gasira Bream. But you could get up to 200 science here, which means in 10 turns, you could have access to Bodcanero. And in another 5 turns, you could have unlocked both of those techs, both of those free cards. So in 15 turns, he could be having an additional 4 H strength units, able to upgrade his existing, 7 slingers. So you're talking a 0 H strength unit to 11 H strength unit swing in 15 turns potentially. I mean, that's an option here. That's on the table right here for Kush. Like, this game is not over. It doesn't. So, yeah, man. Oh my God. There's a huge opportunity here for Kush, actually, now that I'm identifying it, because of these existing slingers, because of the amount of tech that he's picked up on. And that's only one aspect that we took a look at. I mean, there's plenty of other ways for him to jam up science. He could always do some weird Christianity stuff, like we said. Oh, man. But look, his family opinions is seriously rebound. His science is rebound. His king is young. He hasn't even married. He can marry off here, really get everybody into like solid opinion levels. He's in a good position. He's in a good position. He just needs to get his economy worked out. And that's doable because he has, again, what did we say? 32 workers? 34 workers. So the economy getting on. Yeah, I mean, here come the mines. I'm not sure what we're going to do about gold, though. I mean, we got to have access to... Yeah, we have access to Polis because we have access to LandCon. So I'd love to see some hamlets go down. I mean, we have all this stone. What else are you using it on? Apparently another holy church. Maybe these guys just go for points. That would be hilarious. But I do think there's a solid military punch coming capable here out of the Kush player that I would love to see ramped up. I mean, I'm really impressed with Blajj's gameplay here in the second half. It was a dominant showing coming out of Babylon in the first half. They're still in a dominant position. There is still a window for Babylon to push out and maybe take a couple of cities off of Kush before they get through. But if Cliff continues to play as passively as he has, it's entirely likely that Kush is able to get back into this game at a very, very pivotal point. But all will be determined. It's going to take some very important decisions coming out of both players over the next decade. Oh, 2 turns before we close out this episode, guys. It's been a fun one. Thanks for hanging out with us. The extermination of all the tribes on the place is about to be over. We are down to 1 Gaul and 2 Numidians left. And it looks like Babylon is going to claim the final sweet treat, because that is technically on their side of the map. Kush has done a better job of expanding, even with the pickup of the Ishtar Gate and all the extra culture gains that gave over to Kush, or gave over to Babylon. Kush is still 6 points ahead in points. Granted, a lot of that is coming from wonders, and some of them are less important than others here with the 2 religious wonders that are really only boosting his culture. If the game does come down to points, though, those will come in handy, but it's whether or not the game comes down to points. If it does, it would be the first in the 2025 competition. But who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance to see that. That'd be lovely. More barracks is coming down. Love to see the preemptive war drums being beat inside of Kush. He is doing an excellent job of building up his nation, not only for the science race that was the first half of the game that he has now come ahead on. He is not surpassed, but he's closing the lead turn over turn. But also for the next race that's going to come on, which is debatably more important on who can produce more troops. The Gulf is closing. It's back under 2,000 now, but it's still at 1,900. So, you know, only being 25 science up, it's going to be a long time before you close the distance. Taking a look over at the science game, what do I see coming after this? Because if we are talking about a 15-turn window, and that, granted, is very conservative, that's if everything goes right, then in 15 turns, he will be able to get access to, that Blajj will be able to get access to 2 sets of 8 strength units. However, in 7 turns, we will have access to 2 sets of 8 strength units. And then what comes next? Chain drive? 10 turns? Yeah. I mean, right? There's nothing else. Upgrading your existing ballistas, of which you have a few, into Polybolos. Yeah, if we don't go for horsemen... oh no. Because we only have a couple of slingers to upgrade, but we have... 1, 2, we have 1 ballista here, 2 in the works, 1 out in the field. Yeah, 4 Polybolos is... Ooh. Yeah, you're gonna want some horses on the field here. So it's hard. It's hard for me to direct Blajj on exactly where to go for the strategy. I mean, like, there's that way. It's the 11 unique unit increase, but geez, maybe he's better off going for cataphracts. I mean, let's take a look over what that science is. We have 1 year here, and then that's going to be 6, 16, 32. So we're talking about 16 turns to cataphracts. Could be our first cataphracts game, guys. I mean, 16 turns, that'd be a turn 115 cataphracts. It's very possible. Again, because we have all these damn horses everywhere. And, you know, he's building some chariots. Yeah, 2 sets of chariots. So, you know, maybe that's what's on his mind. Maybe he's thinking Maceman and... oh, my God. Maybe this is the first cataphracts game we've seen. This might be the highest science game we've seen. I mean, I don't want to speak, you know, entirely, but it's entirely possible. Yeah, I agree, Siam. He's got a very scary setup here with his 3 sets of hunters out on the front line. Bink, bink, bink. It's a very scary front line. Mm-hmm. And again, if we get those all these slingers upgraded into something useful. Okay, not what he's hoping for. You know, you want to talk about things not going right. Orders boost is fine here. I mean, he's no slouch. He is no slouch on orders himself. 58 orders is certainly nothing to not feel humble about. Not to mention there's 14 locked behind. So it's 66. And so he has 80 orders? He has 80 orders. Ugh. Gross. 80 orders. I mean, geez, Babylon's going to need every single damn one of these wonders to even catch up. So maybe Heliopolis isn't going to be the save-all that he was hoping for, and it's not legitimacy that's holding him back. Yeah, I mean, Kush, that is an interesting thing. I mean, everyone talks about Persia and their capacity for being able to hold down so many damn orders, but the 0.7 orders per order shrine next to your inside of each and every single one of your cities with polytheism strapped onto it. Not to mention when you change the law, so that way he hasn't even flipped on monotheism. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Babylon's going to have to. They're not going to have the orders to do an aggressive play against him because he's going to have so many damn defensive orders in his back pocket. So Babylon is going to have to give Blajj a chance to catch up. And Blajj is not slowing down on his scientific increases. We got one hell of a game here, guys. I'm going to be keeping rapt attention for the next one. Hopefully these guys play next weekend and I'm able to commentate again. I would love to get the bird's eye view like this, being able to click around at leisure. Oh, man. Very, very cool game out of both players. Yeah. You know, looking at the situation right now looking at the order situation specifically, yeah, I think Kush has this. I mean, not entirely unlock, but if it came to blows right now, with the economy that he has, I mean, ignore the man behind the curtain here, but with the economy that he has and the production rate that he has, not to mention, like, half of these units are half-baked. We got chariots and archers and onagers and more archers and more chariots and more onagers and more axemen and more onagers all coming out of all these cities in, like, 5 turns, 3 to 9 turns, call it on average 6. I mean, this score is going to ramp. Yeah, I mean, he's ahead, but for how long? Get a couple of solid upgrades in here. And I legitimately think, based on the science pathing that we've seen out of both players, especially because we are printing out ballistas right now, I think Polibolos is a follow-up tech to, what is it called? As a follow-up tech to to Windlass. I think Chain Drive after Windlass is the very likely Babylon path. And if we are already building chariots, likely because we're seeing that more ballistas are coming online, being rushed out even, we know this is the priority from Babylon, then we know to invest in further cav. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Stirrups come here, which he'd have in 3 turns. It's in the draw pile. It's coming up next. Oh, man, if Babylon uses this massive lead to be able to grab a whole bunch of Polibolos, thinking like, oh, that's going to crush his unique unit. That's going to crush all these slingers, which it would, which is smart, which is exactly what he should be doing, going for the hard counter, because that's all you see on Babylon forces, nothing but infantry. And then he just gets rained down on by a whole bunch of preordained chariots, which would be horsemen in very short order. Oh, man. Oh, God. You know, I'm reading the tea leaves here. I think that's what's going to happen. Oh, boy. Archers and horses. Yeah. Potent combo. Not one often seen. Yeah. 250 Civics Russia turn with 1,200 in the back pocket, Scion. That is a metric crap ton of rush potential. And he's no slack on culture. He has no, he ain't got no Ishtar Gate, but outside of these 3 cities on the front, which maybe only should be building walls, every other city can just be pumping out onagers to hold the line in the meantime. We got some aggressive movement coming out here. I would like to see 2. Did we go in? Yeah, agent network. All right, placing 2 more agents in here. Getting a better idea of what's on the front lines, but that is an aggressive move. It might just be for vision, which is smart. You know, you have your opponent's front line. You want to see where they're bringing all their troops to. If I was Cliff, what I'd be keeping an eye on myself is these 2 units right here. Because you are able to tell that Kush has got his 7 laws active. And as soon as these guys disappear from the front lines, you got to imagine that they're beelining it back to try to get themselves upgraded. Do we have any citadels in Kush? Are we building any citadels in Kush? We have 7 laws. More racks. No citadels. Okay. All right. Would love to see some citadels. You got 3 cities you can build them in. Okay. Stronger and learned. So he's doing the right thing by building all these units now. 200 science is more than enough, friend. Nice to see that he's officially turned that off. Elder Priest is coming out. That is science, but more importantly, it's training. So I like where his head's at. Very strong showing out of Blajj here. That scientific golf at the very beginning had me nervous, but this is an impressive showing. This is a very impressive showing. I think I'm going to have to go back and work on my own personal religion gameplay myself after watching this firsthand, this up close and personal. I knew it was strong after playing a couple of games against Alcaraz, who loves doing the exact same strategy, hoarding religions and boosting them for all he's worth. But this is an impressive showing, Mr. Blajj. Impressive showing. But you're not out of the woods yet. You want to talk about impressive showings? This is a disastrously powerful early game out of Babylon. I mean, people talk about the Babylon Science Rush, but this was executed very strongly. Really happy to see a very nice showing out of Cliff. Hoo boy. Well, this might be where we're coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. We are on turn 90. We are working on our last 1 order. I do imagine this is where we are going to call it time on the game. And what a game it is. What a game it is. You don't always get an opportunity inside of the multiplayer scene to see 2 fully fledged, built out, built up military powerhouse nations actually get a chance to turn on every damn switch on all cylinders and rush out towards the front line. But we are going to get to see that, I think, in the next episode. So everybody grab your popcorn and get ready for some conquest, because it is going to be a doozy. One final check. Again, this orator, warlike orator, and he's so young. Yeah, Blajj has had some bad luck with a couple of fall throughs here and there, but honestly, with somebody who has 4 religions to have to contend with inside of his own internal borders, being able to claim 40% opinion boost with every single one of them, this orator might actually be a godsend. Are we using him as a governor? We are not. We are not? Oh, you gotta shove the warlike order in somewhere. Are we using him as a general, weirdly? No, just not using him as all. Okay. All right. We'd love to see you use your 23 science governor here. He's only 34 years old. He's not going anywhere. He's still okay. Look past the 13 deficit. You don't need legendary in this city. It's not going to save you. But an extra 24 science for the last 6 turns could have certainly helped. We're going for hydraulics. What would we have options? Okay, well, we didn't go for battle line. Doctrine still, I think, would have been good. Considering this super amount of orders that you have, you could certainly get even more rushing out. So that would have been very, very powerful. So I would have liked to seen Doctrine here, but hydraulics. Turning around and saying you want your own economy to go up, you want more science. Well, I mean, that certainly sounds like you, Blajj, but ballistas certainly aren't going to hurt. They're not going to help. Those UUs that are coming in against you aren't what you have to worry about. You have to worry about their ballista. Okay. Personally would have gone for Doctrine and Orthodoxy here, or maybe even Tolerance. Honestly, who knows? I mean, all that damn happiness could certainly help. You got all these cities. It's a lot of discontent to have to contend with turn over turn. So frankly, maybe even tolerant just to maintain happy relations inside of your nation would be advantageous. Okay. But yeah, production situation, Blajj. Order situation, Blajj, despite Heliopolis, which is wild. Internal politics situation, definitely got a hiccup here, but there is opportunity for you to build up on that. I mean, you got this character who's in love with you, still only 41 years old. You're not even pushing 30. So that'll be held down for a very long time. Your spy master here, influenced by you, decent opinion. You could easily iron this one out, convert them over to Judaism. You did get metaphysics, so you should be able to do that with all these civics in your back pocket. So internal politics is also looking very good for them. If they survive long enough, or more importantly, if Cliff doesn't pull the trigger on this clear early advantage that he has, that advantage is going to slip away from him. And Blajj has the opportunity to go in two directions that would be very powerful, either for Bodkin Arrow or for Barding, both of which I think would be devastating to the military mix that Cliff is bringing to it. He does have vision on this. He should be able to deduce what is the proper military mix to bring in here, but it's whether or not he's actually able to piece that together. But he has two options. He's potentially trying to find a third here. I'm not certain I agree with it. You'll end up just going blow for blow, and you'll have the production. So perhaps this works out for him as well. Just breaking even. So who knows? Maybe that's actually accurate. Maybe he has three options available for him tech-wise to slam the window shut on Cliff, outproduce him, and push out himself. Conversely, let's talk about the window. Window is open. He is stronger. You got the better units. You can shut down all of this improvement construction and get a full 46 orders per turn. You would have to keep your army really bunched. You'd have to really make sure you're using it all to punch in one direction because you don't have the orders to split that focus. But your window is here and it is closing. You need orders. You need units. You need unit production. We still aren't seeing any barracks being built. All these wonders are nice and flashy, but if you're not building the shrines to get the additional orders out of that, then that Heliopolis is not going to save you in this order deficit. Cliff had an amazing, powerful early game. He picked the map himself because he likes his early game, because he likes his science ramp. But I think he might have by picking the largest map possible, went too big. And now it is going to be too hard for him to move his forces all the way to the front to take advantage of the early game window that he carved out for himself. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 here, which is the classic thing in Old World. There is windows of opportunity, and when they close, they are not necessarily gone forever, but you got to build a whole damn new window. The scouting game from both players has severely increased. I do love the showing of all of the additional spies. It is nice to see that coming out on both players for potential networks here and available. We are not fully utilizing all the spies that we have. Could easily pivot this guy out. You could grab a 3/3 scholar here. Only lose out on a little bit of science and get a whole bunch of extra science from putting all of these extra spiders around. Or you can hold on to them and just keep all the spiders in. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually, yeah, you don't even need to. You can fill every single one of your agent networks with an additional spy, and all of them are pretty damn decent. So a lot is available to you here, a lot of options, a lot of extra science to be gotten for both players. The vision dramatically increased. Vision dramatically increased, power has dramatically increased, science game has become a tight race. Looking forward to the next one, guys. But that's all to commentate on here for right now. And in the next time, and hold on, let's see. Scientific's got some last words. Thanks for casting, Moose. You're welcome. Order is giving 1 order per friendly city too. Excellent point, my lord. Legendary Moreau. Yeah. How much gold would Holy War bring in for Kush? How much gold would Holy War bring in for Kush? I mean, that would be on the way to Barding. Holy War is... Can her units with money. Is that what you're asking for? Oh, pilgrimage. 10 gold per year per cities with religion. Is that per? That can't be per religion. So that's just... No, it's holy city. Oh, in the holy city. Oh, holy crap. Okay. So we have 4 holy cities inside of Kush, and each one of those would get. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, let's just do the map of how many little numbers we see, and each one's worth 10, essentially. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28, 30. I think we already counted these, so roughly 300, Scion? Yeah, 300 in the total, which would then be multiplied by any additional governors that you had. So, in essence, a shit ton. Yeah, so at least 300. Still not enough to pull him out of his deficit, but it would certainly help a lot. Granted, you could also flip over to Christianity with all your damn civics and get yourself access to some more gold through the monasteries, but that's even more investment, and I'd rather him just stay focused on just rushing out units at this point. But yeah, I mean, the options abound. I agree with you. Definitely heading in that direction. Grabbing, although likely he would grab Holy War. He might not be thinking about his gold, but he might be. Who knows? But yeah, going for stirrups into martial code into barding would be a very tasty upset for Blajj to be bringing up against Cliff. Yeah. I mean, Cliff's got spears. But how close is he to pikes? If he's even focusing on pikes. Yeah, he doesn't even have steel. Not that it would be a lot. Steel's like a turn. Yeah. So, I mean, we could be seeing... Like, there's a lot of give and take here. They both have so much damn science that they could fly up the tree in any particular direction. Oh, but, yeah, guys. Fun game. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Happy conquering.